And a good evening as we welcome you here to Yankton, as we are here at Craneworth Young Field as the the Pierre Governors take on the Yankton Bucks. Butchered that name, Tom. John Wickler alongside Greg Dean as the Governors are looking to go 3-0 here to start this season. The Yankton Bucks coming in at 2-0, and this is a matchup between the top two rated teams in the media poll, with Pierre being number one, Yankton number two. Yankton had a first place vote going into this week, so maybe a little extra motivation for the Pierre Governors, but they have a chance here to kind of assert themselves as the top team against this Yankton club here tonight.
Yeah, and this is going to be a good game. There's no doubt about it that when you look at the schedule, if you're the Pierre Governor coaching staff or just a Pierre Governor fan, one of the first things you look for is you circle that Yankton game. There's just a rich tradition of success and winning here that's embedded in Yankton High School down here at Crane Youngworth Field. This is a tough place to play, and it's just a place where it doesn't matter how good you are, or maybe how what kind of season Yankton may be having. This is a tough place to play. So if the Governors can come out of here with a win tonight, that's a huge accomplishment.
It's a tough place to play, but it's also a tough job here to prepare for this Yankton team, because they go maybe necessarily by injury here in the first couple of games, but they go with two quarterbacks in Trevor Fitzgerald and Rugby Ryken, and then they like to spread out. They like to throw the ball, and then Corbin Solar with 224 yards on 47 attempts so far this season. It's a tough team offensively to prepare for compared to last week. You had your challenges last week with everybody kind of bunched in with the triple option. Here this week, it's a lot different because you got to spread everybody out.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest keys tonight for Pierre is going to be how does your front seven play defensively? What kind of ability does the Pierre defense have to control that running game? You're going to hear Corbin Solar's name a lot tonight. He's the main back for Yankton. Trevor Fitzgerald will start at quarterback. He's more of a running quarterback. When Yankton has to go to the pass, they'll bring in the sophomore Rugby Ryken. He's got the bulk of their pass attempts this year. So they're a team that again is, like you said, John, is going to run a much more wide open style than what we saw last week with West Central.
We will talk with Coach Brady Muth here in just a little bit for the Yankton Bucks. We'll also be joined here with Coach Steve Steele as well, the pregame show, as we'll have both those coaches' interviews for you. As the Pierre Governors take on the Yankton Bucks here from Yankton, the second road game of the season for the Pierre Governors as they look to go 3-0. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football. Today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back to Yankton, and we are just about set here for football as John Winkler alongside Greg Dean. Coin toss happening right now, and welcome those on YouTube as well at KCCR Sports. As the Pierre Governors take on the Yankton Bucks, and for the Governors, I believe that we'll have the official word of what will be had. Actually, it looks like Yankton will
won the toss. Deferred.
So the Governors will get the ball to start this game. And for the Governors, Greg, last year, 3 plays, 3 touchdowns. It was 21-0 the first minute and a half. So this is a Yankton team that they're taking defense right away. They better hope for a quick stop.
Yeah, and I think, this is obviously a different year, a different team on both sides of the ball. You got to think that what Yankton is wanting to do is kind of do that philosophy that Pierre has used. They've won the toss. They want to get the ball right away at the beginning of the second half. Hopefully take some momentum into the locker room at halftime, and then take the ball right away at the beginning of the second half. For Pierre, what they need to do is just exactly what they did last year. Quick start, fast start. First 2 games, that has not been their MO. They've come out of the gate kind of slow. It has taken them about a quarter to really get up and going, both against Sturgis and last week against West Central. And so hopefully you get a little quicker start out of the Governors tonight, and we should know the answer to that question here in about 30 seconds.
Trevor Paulson will kick it deep. McGuire Rasky, Josh Rouse are back deep for the Governors as we are underway here at KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. It'll be Josh Rouse. He'll take it to the 20 up to the 25, straight through the middle. He's out to about the 35-yard line where he spun around and dropped around the 36, and the Governors have good field position to open up the ball game. And here for the Governors, again, this is going to be, we're going to see the same formation come out. Steele told me before the game, this is going to be the same formation that we are used to seeing, or that we saw last year. That first play, they're going to put a man in motion, but they're going to run the ball here. So we're going to look for a run for McGuire Rasky out of the backfield. The pistol formation, handoff to Rasky. He'll go up the middle and out to the right side. He's going to get a couple yards. So Yankton off to a better start than what they had last year. A gain of about 3 for McGuire Rasky. He'll bring up second, and we'll call it 2nd and 8, a gain of 2.
Yeah, and again, just pretty much a dive play to Rasky up the middle, and he had a little bit of a crease. But again, one of the other keys, we talked about the key initially in the pregame, talking about the front 7 of the Pierre Governor defense. The Pierre Governor offensive line is going to be another big key to this game.
Keenels will take the ball to the right side, design run. He's not going to get anywhere. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. He'll bring up 3rd and a long 8 here for the Governors. Lincoln Keenel so far in the season, 25 for 43 with 3 interceptions. He got 1 touchdown, 315 yards. He's averaging 157 yards through the air per game through the first 2 of his varsity starting career. 3 receivers, 2 receivers, 1 on each side. Lettler on the left and Booth on the right. Pistol formation, Bullwig and the tight end. Play action, rolling to his right. 3rd and 8, throws on the run, looking for Bullwig in double coverage. He makes the catch for a first down. Bullwig, his first grab, and in double coverage will pick up a first and a gain of a 10 for the Governors.
Yeah, and Keenholz threw that through a really narrow window. He actually had, like you said, Bullwig had 2 guys behind him, and then he was actually bracketed with 2 guys in front of him, and Keenholz threaded the needle. I'm not sure how he got it through there, but he was able to fit it through that window, and the Governors have a first down.
Same formation, but this time a handoff for McGuire Rasky. He's bounced at the line. He'll spin around. He's still on his feet. Rasky will slip through another tackler. He gets past the 50-yard line through the 45 until about the 43-yard line. A gain of about 9 or 10 here for the Governors, and it'll be a gain of 9 for McGuire Rasky, and that was all Rasky after the initial contact.
Yeah, Rasky came to the near side, to the right side of the formation, got bottled up and kept his feet churning and spun, and was able to find daylight out on the left side.
Rasky again with the handoff on second. He'll pass the first down marker to the 40-yard line, and around the 40 is where he'll be dropped. A gain of 3 and a first down again for the Governors. And Yankton was this close to getting off the field on a 3-and-out, but yet now here the Governors are in Yankton territory.
57 degrees at kickoff tonight at Crane Youngworth Field. Virtually no wind and overcast skies. Governors wearing their white tops, green pants, green numerals, tops accented in green and black, green helmets. Yankton with the red tops, white pants, red stripes, white numerals.
From the pistol again, handoff for McGuire. Rasky, he gets bottled up and taken down right at the 40-yard line, trying to slip through another tackler, as I believe that was for the Yankton Bucks. Was Ben Rumsey. Nope, Jaden Leitner that will make the tackle for the Bucks.
Yeah, and again, just kind of that simple dive off the right side, and the Bucks had that one sniffed out, and Rasky just wasn't able to get anything going. Buck defense had him wrapped up, and he wasn't able to keep those feet churning and try to find some daylight after contact.
From the shotgun catch for Lettler on the slant pass, and he'll make a first down here for the Governors. And he's past the 30 to about the 27-yard line, a gain of 13 for Zach Lettler on his first catch, and another first down with 9:20 to go here in the first.
Yeah, just a post route coming off of the near side of the field, and again, Keenholz found that through kind of a narrow window and hit Lettler in stride for a first down.
Rasky will go in motion. They'll fake the screen pass. Keenholz will go straight up the middle. He's past the 25-yard line down to about the 20, a gain of about 6. So he'll be at the 21-yard line. And Lincoln Keenholz has made a second and manageable here for the Governors.
Yeah, and we'll see what kind of kicking game both sides have. We know that the Govs have a good kicking game, good first drive for the Governors. They're probably awful close to being in Karsten Miller field goal range, even if they don't gain another yard.
2nd and 4 from the 21, 9th play of the drive here for the Governors. Handoff for Rasky right up the middle again. He'll sidestep one tackler, but he's wrapped up right at the 20-yard line. Gets on the other side of the 20, so closer to the 19, but a gain of just 1. And it's third down and 3 here for the Governors as they get into the red zone.
Yeah, and again, just pounding the middle of that offensive line right now. We've seen the Governors go with that unbalanced line a couple of times in this drive. To date, they have gone unbalanced left and have run to the right side. Right now, they're going unbalanced left again. We'll see what they do out of this formation.
Bergman goes in motion to the right, pitched over to Rasky. He's got up for a first down, breaks free into the secondary. It is in for a touchdown. McGuire Rasky, 8th touchdown of the season. The Governors strike first, 7:53 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and just a pitch play to that near side, to the weak side of that unbalanced line formation. They seem to be running towards that near side where there's only a tackle and Bullwig, the tight end, and having some real success coming to that near side on the unbalanced line.
Carson Miller on for the extra point here for the Pierre Governors, looking to make it 7-0 here. 7:53 to go in the first. Snap is good. The kick is up, and it is going to be good, and it's 7-0 here for the Governors. 7:53 to go in the first. They strike first in their first drive of the ball game. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. A 10-play drive that went 64 yards for the Pierre Governors and took about just over 4 minutes off the clock. And the Pierre Governors, with McGuire Rasky picking up his 8th touchdown of the season, have a 7-0 lead as the Yankton Bucks still cannot get a lead on the Pierre Governors, as they have not trailed to have the Governors since halftime of the 2018 state championship game. That's been we're closing in on 2 years ago that we've seen the Governors last trail, and they have the lead here to open up this ball game. Carson Miller on the kickoff will take one hop and will hop high up in the air, but it'll be fielded by Fitzgerald as Fitzgerald's out to the right side. He's out to the 25 where he is taken down, and Trevor Fitzgerald will now lead the offense out for the first possession. They've had 2 different quarterbacks so far with Fitzgerald and Ryken. Ryken has thrown 12 more passes than Fitzgerald, but when you look at the stats, Fitzgerald is mainly used as a runner too. As Fitzgerald rushing-wise, he has got 168 yards on 14 attempts. 2 receivers out to the left side. One's coming in motion. That's Tyler Soler. And the handoff up the middle for Corbin Soler. And he is dropped in the backfield as he'll lose a couple yards from the 25 back to the 23. Loss of 2 to open up the drive for the Bucks. And this front line of this Governor team, in terms of where you look at with Preston Taylor, Gunnar Gehring and Jace Beestrom on each side. It's going to be tough to push those guys backwards.
Yeah, and we'll see what kind of strategy the Bucks want to use here on their first drive.
Fitzgerald will roll out to his right. He's got a lot of space out of the right side. Fitzgerald has got a first down. He's got the yard line. Actually, he's got to step out at the 42-yard line. A gain 19 for Fitzgerald, and it's 1st and 10 here for the Governors.
Yeah, and Fitzgerald probably looked like a designed run. Just took almost a quarterback draw. But what he did was, instead of coming straight up the middle, bootlegged around the right side, the far side of the field, and was able to have a lot of daylight over there. And luckily the Governors were able to get an angle on him and bring him down out of bounds.
Solar will go in motion, and the give will be to Corbin Solar, and Josh Rouse will come flying in. He'll make the tackle at the 45-yard line, a gain of 3 this time for Corbin Solar. You got Corbin Solar and Tyler Solar. Corbin is the workhorse for the running game. Tyler's got 6 receptions for 91 yards. He's come in motion twice, but it's 2nd and 7 here from the 45-yard line, moving from right to left. A clap from Fitzgerald. A hesitation and a sack will be made. Sack as Ray Ulwig almost got a sack across, and then it'll be a completion near the first down marker past the 50-yard line. And the first Yankton pass goes to Cameron Zarbach as he makes his 3rd reception of the season, and it will be just short of the marker. Actually, no, will be a first down, so we'll be picking up a gain of 7 and a first down here for the Yankton Bucks.
Bucks are moving really fast, no huddle offense, and they're right away at the line, and they're calling the play at the line and not giving the Governors any chance to try to make a substitution or even really get set.
Corbin Solar will lose a half a yard back to the 45, right around the 45 or 46-yard line, I should say, but they'll say it's going to be actually a gain of 3 up to the 45-yard line. And so it's 2nd and 7. And again, this time the handoff, I believe it will be to Thomas Wiener. It is still to Solar. And Solar will not pick up any yards, and now it's 3rd and 7. And like you said, Greg, this is an up-tempo offense here for Yankton, moving faster than the Pierre Governors are. 5:50 to go here in the opening quarter. 3rd and 7 from the 45-yard line from the pistol. As Fitzgerald will take it to the right. And a little option play here for Fitzgerald. He'll keep it. He's got enough for a first down as he gets past the 38-yard line to around the 36. A gain of 9 for Fitzgerald. And it's 1st and 10 here for the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks only took about 15 seconds on that last play from the time that the play clock started until they snapped the ball. I mean, this is a really up-tempo offense right now for Yankton, something that I think Max Hawk would have certainly not done when he was coaching here 30, 40 years ago.
Fitzgerald will take it on the design run. On the option play, it'll be out to the 34-yard line, a gain of 2 for Fitzgerald, and it's 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and again, the Govs have generally done a pretty good job so far of containing the run in between the tackles. It's when Yankton has been able to get to the edge and get something in out of the pass.
From the I formation, a handoff up the middle for Solar, and he'll fall forward. He rolled forward, and they'll give him a gain of about 6 yards, maybe 7 yards, to make it 3rd and 1. And it's going to be the 10th play of the drive and another 3rd down here for the Governors to try and stop this Yankton Buck offense, but it looks like it could be 4-down territory as it is at the 26-yard line. 3rd and 1 from the 26. Fitzgerald looked to pass. He'll throw down the sideline and it'll go out of bounds. Zarbach had no chance of keeping his feet in bounds, and it'll be an incomplete pass. It's now 4th and 1. And, Greg, I think that was a play just to see if he can get a touchdown, but really 4th and 1. Right now, with the Yankton Buck offense, they feel pretty good to pick up more about a couple of inches.
Yeah, and on that last play, they sent four receivers into the into the formation and into the pattern. All 4 went deep into the end zone, and Fitzgerald had his pick, and fortunately for the Govs, it fell incomplete.
From 4th and 1, Corbin Solar will get the handoff, and he's going to pick up just enough, about a half a yard or a yard to the 25, but it is enough for a first down, so the drive will continue, and the first 4th down conversion had for the Yankton Bucks with 4:28 to go and counting here in the first quarter. 7-0 lead for the Governors as the opening drive for the Yankton Bucks, as they have been driving, as they've gone nearly from the 20-yard line to the Pierre 20-yard line. From the 25, Solar will get the handoff. He'll run it straight into Josh Rouse, but he falls forward to about the 22, a gain of 3. And something Solar does well, when he makes contact, he's falling forward. He's not getting or stopped right in his tracks.
Yeah, Solar checks in at 5'11", 190. He's a solid running back there in the tailback position for the Bucks.
Here's from 2nd and 7, handoff for Solar, and the first time that the Governors have been really able to wrap up Solar on that, other than the initial play to start the drive, be no gain, and it's 3rd and 7 here for the Yankton Bucks, and a quick substitutions as there'll be a shotgun formation here from 3rd and 7. 2 receivers on each side. They'll try and spread things out here for Yankton. Man goes in motion, so an empty backfield here. Wiener will go in motion. Thomas Wiener, the other tailback, as Fitzgerald looked to pass. He's rolling to his right. He'll throw over the middle. The catch is made by Zarbach as he was able to tap it to himself. He's inside the 5-yard line, down to 3. Wide open was Zarbach, and it's a gain of about 18, and it's 1st and goal.
Yeah, Fitzgerald on the rollout to the right. The Bucks sent 5 guys into the pattern. Zarbach coming clear, running through the middle of the Governor secondary, and a nice pass from Fitzgerald. Zarbach went up and got it, like you said, tipped the ball, but brought it down to himself and almost scored on that play. 1st
and goal from the 3 I formation, handoff for Solar, and he's dropped in the backfield. A good job there by the Governors. Might have been Gunnar Gehring that got to him first, as actually it was Reagan Bolwig that was able to make the tackle in the backfield, and it'll be no gain. And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 3. And with 2:44 to go here in the first quarter, they're lining everybody up here. Not sure where the ball's even at, where the center. And they'll have a flag come in. And I think we're going to get to, we'll see what the official is, what the official call is. Looks like it's going to be a false start in Yankton.
Prior to snap, false start. Offense, number 12. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So it's now 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line as the Governors are looking for a goal line stand. They had one last week against West Central, which would have given West Central the lead if they would have been able to score. But here is 2nd and goal from the 7. The Governors are trying to bend and not break here in this first drive. From the I formation again, under center, Fitzgerald. Hand off to Corbin Solar out to the right side, trying to get to the pylon. He dives in, but he is out. He did not get in for a touchdown, and it's a 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, and on the previous play, prior to the false start penalty, what Yankton did was they had 7 on the line, and then the three backs were actually stacked up right behind, same formation they're using right now, and they're in 3-point stance, and then Fitzgerald is right behind them. So this one's going right up the middle.
Fitzgerald will try and take it in, but he's going to be dropped at the 2-yard line. No gain for Fitzgerald, and it's now 4th and goal from the 2-yard line, and a flag will come in here late. It's on the Yankton side of the, well, we'll see what the call is going to be. As it's 7-0 here for the Governors right now at 2:13 to play in this first quarter. And we'll see what the call is. It was after the play was over. And it might be, I think it's going to be on Yankton. It looks like the referee's about to move it backwards.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul, offense, number 62, 15-yard penalty.
That is on Gage Coster, the left guard, the 6 foot, 260-pound senior. 15-yard penalty, so now it's 4th and goal from the 16-yard line. It was
and that's just a killer penalty. I mean, you're down inside the 5. You're likely in 4-down territory, and now you've taken away any possibility of even thinking about a touchdown, and the Bucks have trotted on the field goal kicker.
It'll be Gavin Fortner to make the attempt here from the it will be a 35-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up. Is it going to have the distance? It's going to come up short, and the Governors, they bend but don't break on the opening possession, and that 15-yard personal foul penalty is a killer for the Yankton Bucks as the Governors will get off the field without allowing a point here on the first drive.
Yeah, and just big break for the Governors. That 15-yard personal foul against the Bucks took them out of any opportunity in 4-down territory inside the 5 and backed them up. And I think we have seen that at least right now you got to think that Fortner's range is probably about 30 yards. That one would have been good from 30. It wasn't good from 35.
McGuire Rasky will get the handoff, and he'll carry the pile with him all the way up to the 27-yard line. A gain of 7 and 2nd and 3 for McGuire Rasky. That was a 17-play drive, Greg, that they did not score on. The Governors had a 10-play drive to open up the ball game. So we've seen 28 plays now in total here in the first quarter with 1:40 left. And then Lincoln Keenels, he picked up the ball on the ground. He had a knee on the ground, so instead of trying to pick it up with both feet up or both knees up, he ended up putting one knee on the ground, so he is down by contact due to the college and high school rules. So now it's 3rd and long here. It's going to end up being a loss of about 6 to be a 3rd and 9 here for the Governors.
Let me go back to that comment you just made. 17-play drive, but only took about 6 minutes. That's how quick that Yankton offense was running tonight.
Empty backfield here. The Governors did not get called for a false start. Rasky will make the catch in the flat. He'll get to the first down marker, and the ball is stripped out, and it's going to be grabbed by the number 3, and that's Aiden Fesser. And the Yankton Bucks are going to have the ball. So what looked like it should have been a false start penalty then turned into a fumble recovery. And now all of a sudden we're going to have an official discussion. We're going to see if this play even happened or not. It was a gain of about 10 or 11 here for Pierre. Yankton was hoping for a false start penalty, and then all of a sudden it would turn into Yankton got the ball and a fumble. Steele was saying something. The referees are getting together, and we'll see what the call is going to be.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting call, a big call from the officials early on in this ball game.
Because if Yankton has the ball, they have it in the Pierre Governor territory, and they have a chance to tie it back up. If not, the Governors still have possession. And Steele is on the field. Coach Muth is coming on looking to talk with the officials as well. And we'll have hopefully we have some kind of call from the officials.
Yeah, and I mean the way that Steve Steele is reacting and the way that Brady Muth is reacting, this is going to be in Pierre's favor, and the crowd is sensing that as well.
Yeah, they're respotting the ball where it was at. So it's going to be 3rd down again. And I hope that the official gets on the mic and says what happened and what we're going to call here, because I'm not sure what the ruling is. He is going to get on the mic. Inadvertent whistle on the play, so it is 3rd down here still. 3rd and 9, and the Yankton faithful do not like that call. Now it goes in favor of the Governors. So it's 3rd and 9 with 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. 3 receivers out to the right side. Keenels will look to pass. Keenels will throw over the middle for Rasky, and it will fall incomplete. In the coverage was Trevor Fitzgerald. And it is now 4th down. The Governors want to put the ball away.
Yeah, Rasky on just an in route about 20 yards downfield, 20, 25 yards downfield. Ball just a little bit overthrown, and good defense by Fitzgerald. And the Governors are going to be back in punt formation just before the end of the first quarter.
Zach Lettler will come on to punt the ball away, as it will be Cody Oswald that is deep here for Yankton at his own 42-yard line. Play clock is down to 10, 53 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. High snap, Lettler will kick it away. It's going to be off to the right side, but it's going to take a couple of pure bounces past the 50 and roll near the 45. It's going to go out of bounds at around the 46-yard line. So good job by Zach Lettler, where it didn't look like the best punt, but it took the pure hop and it got past the 50-yard line, so the Bucks will start in their own territory.
Yeah, about 34 yards is going to be the net result on the punt, and that's not a bad punt. I mean, to be able to move the Bucks back and gain a net of about 30 yards, that's a good field position swap for the Governors.
So here's 1st and 10 from the 46 with 44 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Tyler Solar went in motion. Fitzgerald will roll to his right. Bergman is on him, and Fitzgerald's going to try and get away from Bergman. He will get away from Bergman momentarily, but he's able to pick up just 2 yards, as it was Cord Ellis that made the tackle, and it's 2nd and 8 from the 48.
Yeah, Cord Ellis coming up from his safety position, and a nice job by Colin Brueggemann to flush Fitzgerald out of the pocket and then not lose contain out there.
3 receivers bunched up to the left side. Actually, a 4th receiver will be over there as Fitzgerald will take it to the left side. He's upended past the 50-yard line from the 48 of the Bucks to the 47 of the Governors, and it'll bring up 3rd down and short here. Be a gain of about 5.
And we have not seen Rugby Reich and the second quarterback in this Yankton offensive rotation. Maybe we'll see him sometime in the second quarter, John.
And just like that, we are done with the first quarter. 7-0 for the Governors here at the end of 1. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. It is 3rd and 3 here to open up the second quarter. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean. Fitzgerald in the backfield, empty backfield here from the shotgun formation. He's going to roll to his right, look to pass. Bolwick chasing after him. Fitzgerald will throw on the run. It's going to be well short, and it'll fall incomplete, and it's now 4th down for Yankton. And this is a tough situation here. Early on the second quarter, do you punt the ball away in the Governor territory, but you're sitting at the 46-yard line, or do you try and go for it here on 4th and 3, but give the Governors a short field? Looks like they're going to come out and punt.
Yeah, and on that play, Fitzgerald got flushed out of the pocket on the rollout, had Bolwick breathing down his neck, and Solar tried to adjust his route, and when he did, Fitzgerald just underthrew him. Unfortunately for the Governors, pass fell incomplete, and they'll get the ball back here early in the second quarter.
Olsen they're going to run a fake here on 4th and 3, and they're going to pick up the first down. And they're still on his feet, out to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and at the 5, and in the Bucks are going to be out of the 1-yard line as the fake works to perfection for Gavin Swanson. And Swanson will take it nearly 46 yards, 45 yards in total, 44 yards in total, down to the 2, and the fake works to perfection for the Bucks.
Yeah, just a snap to Swanson as the up back, and the Bucks had the far side, the left side sealed off, and he ran to daylight, and McGuire Rasky thankfully was able to get an arm on him and was able to bring him down at the 2-yard line in the touchdown saving tackle.
So Fitzgerald will go for the I formation here. First minutes not gone by yet in the second quarter. 7-0 for the Governors. From under center, Fitzgerald. He'll hand off for Corbin Solar. He tried to dive for the end zone, but he's going to have no gain. And it's 2nd and goal from about the 2. And the Governors are looking for another goal line stand here, and they're as many trips down the field for the Bucks.
Couple quick score updates. John Brookings leading Sturgis 6-0. 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Douglas and Huron scoreless. 9 minutes left in the first quarter.
Shotgun formation here. 3 receivers on the left side. Zarbach by himself on the right side. As it will be Fitzgerald going to his left. He's got a lot of room. He's going to dive for, not even going to dive for the end zone. He's just going to walk it in. And the Yankton Bucks make 7-6 with 10:45 left to go here in the second quarter. This is a much different game than what we saw last year between the Pierre Governors and the Yankton Bucks.
Yeah, and I think the fact that Yankton pulled that fake punt out of the bottom of the playbook this early in the game shows that they're willing to try anything. I mean, they know that this is a big game. This is going to be a big game in terms of seed points.
As they're going to roll for 2, and they're going to get the 2-point conversion. As they had everybody lined up on the left side, and a quick pass, and it is complete for a 2-point conversion. So for the first time since 2018, the Pierre Governors, they trail in a football game. 10:45 left to go here in the first half. It is 8-7 for the Yankton Bucks. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football, and today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. Welcome back to Yankton, as it is 8-7 for the Yankton Bucks. And again, as I said right before the commercial break, since the first time since 2018, the Pierre Governors are trailing in a football game, as they did not trail at all last year. 2018, the state championship was the last time that they had trailed to this point here in week 3 with 10:45 left to go in the second quarter. And that was for the Yankton Bucks. It ended up being a 6-play drive that went to 54 yards for the Bucks. And it was on a 2-yard touchdown run. And on the ensuing kickoff, it'll be over for Reagan Bolwig to take. And Bolwig, he's out of the 20. He'll jump over a couple of tacklers, and then he'll be the spine buster down to the 25-yard line. And the Governors will take over at the 26-yard line. End up WWE style with that takedown of Bolwig.
Yeah, it was a true WWE type of takedown, and probably somebody lesser than Reagan Bolwig probably would have felt that one a little more, but he popped right up, and again, we'll see how the Governors respond. This is again a game kind of like last week where the Governors kind of got their nose bloody. We'll see how they do this week.
It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Pistol formation, receiver on each side with Booth and Lettler. As the handoff will go to McGuire-Raskey. He's trying to get up the middle. He'll sneak through the defensive line. He'll get past the 40 and to the 43. A gain of 8 on that first down run for McGuire-Raskey. And we might actually call it a gain. We'll call it a gain of 9. It'll be a 2nd and 1. He's got 47 yards on 8 carries in this opening half for the Pierre Governors. Again, same formation here. Pistol formation with a receiver on each side. Keenholz, play action. He'll roll to his right. He'll get a block. He'll throw over the middle. Bolwig's got a catch. He's at the 40 to the 35-yard line where he is spun around and down at the 35. And that's a big throw and catch for Reagan Bolwig, his 2nd of the game.
Yeah, and Lincoln Keenholz looks really comfortable, especially rolling to his right tonight. That was a nice play. Bolwig came out of the tight end position on the near side, just run a post route to the far side, running right into Lincoln Keenholz's field of vision. Nice throw from Keenholz, and it's a big first down for the Governors.
McGuire-Raskey with a handoff on first down. He'll take it from the 35 to the 31, a gain of 4. It was a gain of 22 on that throw and catch from Keenholz to Bolwig, as Keenholz right now 3 for 4 for 45 yards to open up this half. 9:30 left to play here in the first half. 2nd and 6 from the 31 as the Governors are attacking from right to left as they are in Yankton territory. Handoff again for Raskey. He'll sidestep the first tackler. He'll be able to drive the pile forward out to about the 26-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and about 1 here for 3rd and a long 1 for the Governors. We'll call it 3rd and 2. Trying to get to the 25.
And the Governors have had success running between the tackles tonight. McGuire-Raskey has done a nice job and hasn't broken off a real big run yet, but he's gotten good plus yardage going up the middle.
Keenholz again with a handoff to Raskey up the middle for a first down, past the 25 to the 23. It'll be a gain of 3 and a first down for the Governors, and they're inching closer to the red zone. And for again, this is the first time the offense has been on the field since the state championship game against Huron in 2018 that they're going to try and go down and take the lead after trailing at some point.
Yeah, and if this game continues like it has for the first almost quarter and a half, this is going to be a shootout tonight, John.
8-7, Yankton leads, 8:35 to play here in the first half. Play action, throws over the middle, and Bass is tipped, and it will fall incomplete as it was tipped at the line.
I think it was Sam Kampshoff that got a paw on that just out of his linebacker position. If he doesn't, Bolwig is breaking open over the middle at about the 10-yard line. That would have been a good completion for the Governors.
So it's now 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line. Handoff for Raskey up the middle again. He gets inside the 20-yard line where he spun around, and he'll actually be stopped at the 20. So a gain of 3, and it's now 3rd and 7. And what we're looking at right now is a 37-yard field goal attempt for Karsten Miller if they do not pick up another yard.
And again, wind is not a factor tonight. I mean, so we'll see what the maximum range is for both kickers tonight if they have to attempt field goals.
Receiver on each side, play action here for Keenholz. He'll roll to his right. He'll look across, throw across his body. Pass is tipped up in the air after he was intended for Bolwig, and it'll be a 4th down play. Coach Steele is looking for a pass interference call, and he's not going to get it. It's now 4th down and 7 from the 20-yard line, and we'll see now what the Governors want to do. And it looks like Karsten Miller is going to come on and try and have the kick to try and give them the lead 10-8. 8 minutes to go exactly here in the first half.
And that might have been a ball that Lincoln Keenholz maybe tried to force a little bit. Again, throwing into multiple coverage around Reagan Bolwig. He's been successful so far tonight. That was one where maybe he just tried to do a little too much.
Karsten Miller, 37-yard field goal attempt. The kick is not going to be anywhere good as he had to hesitate as the hold was not good, and it will be no good. And the Governors, the defense will go back on the field, and they'll have to try and keep the Yankton lead to just 1. And this is unfamiliar territory with the Governors. This is, and all these guys that are playing either was part of this last couple of state championship teams, or they were watching these teams never trail at all in the last couple of years, and now they find themselves in a tough spot down by 1, and Yankton has the ball at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, and something we didn't talk about is first time that Pierre has been here since Crane Youngworth Phil has been renovated. A new all-turf field, new bleachers on both sides, new press box. new lighting, new scoreboard. This is a very nice facility, and one that will play home not only to the Yankton Buck football team, but also beginning next year, the Mount Marty Lancers will have football for the first time ever in their school's history.
So the Yankton Bucks, they'll actually have it at the 23-yard line. So that's where the kick landed from the missed field goal from Karsten Miller. So Zarbach will go in motion. The Governors are sending a blitz, a quick screen pass. Catch is made by Corbin Solar. There's a block in the back that will go undetected at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be for a near first down. It will be a first down, a gain of 10, as one of the defensive linemen got shoved from the back, and it was undetected from the official. But it's first and 10 here for the Bucks.
Yeah, and I think it was either Josh Rouse or Colin Brueggemann coming straight up the middle out of their linebacker position and really had a good shot at Fitzgerald. He hung in the pocket and was able to complete that screen pass and a successful result for the Bucks.
Gain of 7 on the run for Trevor Fitzgerald, and it's now 2nd and 3 from the 40-yard line with 7:15 to go and counting here in the first half. 8-7 lead for the Yankton Bucks. 3 receivers out to the right side, looking for maybe a quick screen pass, but Fitzgerald will throw, and that one is errant of Zarbach, and almost a chance for a diving play as coming in, and a chance for it was Tristan Curry, but just couldn't quite make that catch.
And again, coming into tonight, we've seen a 2-quarterback rotation out of Yankton. So far, they have stuck with Trevor Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald hasn't thrown the ball a lot when he's had to throw it tonight. He's looked pretty effective.
As Fitzgerald will hand off for Corbin Solar on 3rd and 3, as he's going to get near the first down marker. It looks like they're going to give it to him, a gain of 4, and it's a first down for the Yankton Bucks as they look to continue this drive. And Solar now with 24 yards on 12 carries. So he hasn't necessarily been super effective, 2 yards per carry, but he's done enough to really to hold the Governors in check defensively.
Yeah, and what they're doing is they'll play fake him into the middle of the line and then either bootleg or roll out. And again, like you said, it keeps the middle of the Governor defense honest.
Now 3 receivers out to the right side as Solar went out there with them. A flag will come flying in at the line of scrimmage. A throw and almost intercepted again. Josh Rouse had the opportunity for it. He got a hand on it, but it'll fall incomplete. And a flag on the far side of the field comes in, and it looks like it'll probably be on Yankton for an illegal formation. And would be 2nd and 10, but you would think that they'll probably back them up 5 yards to make it 1st and 15.
Yeah, and just – Bucks were running a post route into the middle of the field, and Fitzgerald just threw just a little bit behind his intended receiver, and Josh Rouse did a nice job of getting a hand on that ball. The Bucks are lucky that the ball was behind the receiver, because if that ball is any closer to the Yankton receiver, that's likely an interception for Josh Rouse.
So it's now 1st and 15 for the 39. The Governors accepted the 5-yard penalty of an illegal shift. And Fitzgerald, all kinds of time in the pocket. He'll throw over the middle. Zarbach's wide open. The catch is going to be made. And there's another block in the back as they'll get away with that one. Zarbach will tiptoe down the sideline. He's still free and then finally pushed out. And the Governors, boy, I don't know how you missed that one. That was a perfect block in the back. That was textbook for a missed call from the officials. But it's going to be 1st and goal all the way down to inside the 10-yard line. A long drive here, or long pitch and catch here to Zarbach, and it's 1st and goal from the 5.
Yeah, and Zarbach came from across on the far side of the field, just a crossing route where when he met up, another Yankton Buck came and drug to the other side of the field, and because of that, the Bucks were able to get some positive yardage out of the deal.
And Fitzgerald will drive 5 yards into the end zone for a touchdown, and Yankton is now leading 14-7 with 6:14 to go here in the first half. And the Pierre Governors down by a full touchdown right now, and if they go for 2 and get it, it could be a 2-possession game here for the Governors.
Yeah, just again, Fitzgerald bootleg to the left, just got to the pylon.
And now the line will come and shift back, and they'll look for the extra point, and Gavin Fortner to make it an 8-point lead for the Bucks. As for this extra points, holding it is Rugby Riken, and the kick is up, and it will be good. 15-7, 6:14 to go here in the first half. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. It is for the Bucks another 6-play drive. They went 77 yards and another 2-yard touchdown run. Actually, excuse me, a 5-yard touchdown run for Fitzgerald as the Bucks now lead 15-7. With an 8-point lead with 6:14 to go here in the first half. The Governors have got to find a way to put the ball in the end zone, as this is the farthest they have been trailing in any game in the last several years. As Paulson will kick it deep over for Josh Rouse. He'll make the catch around the 15-foot slips. He's out to the 20, and he's wrapped up just past the 20-yard line to about the 22. And it's 1st and 10 here for the Governors. And we'll have to go 78 yards to try and tie this one back up.
Yeah, and again, we'll give a lot of credit to the Yankton Buck offense. I mean, they are doing a lot of good things right now. Kind of have this fast-paced offense. I don't know if this is something that the Governors saw on film or something that they were ready for, but it is something that kind of has them a little bit off balance so far tonight.
1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Lincoln Keenholz from the pistol. McGuire Rasky in the backfield. Handoff to Rasky. He'll get up the middle. He'll sweep through, and the ball comes loose. And Yankton will fall on top of it. And McGuire Rasky is fumbling the football. And Yankton has a chance to go up by 2 scores with short field position around the 25-yard line. And right now, Yankton has all the momentum. The Governors looking like they're kind of sleepwalking right now.
Yeah, and again, if Yankton goes up 2 scores here, it doesn't give the Governors a lot of time. There's 6 minutes and 3 seconds left before halftime. And remember, the Bucks will get the ball coming out of the locker room to start second half.
So here at a 15-7 lead, 6:03 to go in the first half. And back on the field is Trevor Fitzgerald, as he'll get everybody lined up on the first play from the 26-yard line. Short field here for the Bucks. And with 6 seconds left to go on the play clock, Yankton could not get themselves lined up. It'll be a timeout for the Yankton Bucks. 6:03 to go here in the first half. It is a 15-7 lead for Yankton. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back to Yankton, it is a 15-7 lead here for the Bucks with 6:03 to go.
A couple of quick score updates, John. In 11 AA, Huron leading Douglas 7-0. Brookings over Sturgis 13-0.
Fitzgerald, 1st and 10 for the 26 off the timeout. Play action. He'll look to pass. He'll throw downfield looking for the home run pass. The catch is going to be made at the 5-yard line as the Bucks are in now into the red zone. Tyler Solar makes his first catch, a gain of 21, and it's 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
And what Yankton is doing well is they are throwing a lot of different formations at the Governors and really having success throwing the ball tonight, something that we haven't seen a lot of from either of the first 2 teams the Governors have played so far this year.
Corbin Solar does not get in on 1st and goal from the 5. It'll pick up maybe 3 or 4. I can't, if it looks like he's about to the 1-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1, a gain of 4 for Solar. Quick play here, right back to Solar. He's in the end zone for a touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown run. And Fitzgerald has made it Solar has made it a 21-7 lead here for the Yankton Bucks. They lead by 14 with 5:23 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and again, just unfortunate that the Pierre Governor turnover, and they haven't turned the ball over much this year, but the Pierre Governor turnover resulted in a quick drive of just about 40 seconds, 3 plays in 40 seconds for the Yankton Bucks, and now they're up 21-7, and the Governors are going to have to respond quickly before halftime.
As for the extra points, the kick is up, and it is good. So it's 22-7 with 5:23 left to play here in the first half. The Governors, they trail by 15. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football. Today is KCCR and today is KCCR.com. A 3-play, 26-yard drive, a 1-yard touchdown run for the Yankton Bucks from Corbin Solar. And it is a 22-7 lead for the Yankton Bucks with 5:23 to play here in the first half. Governors have a lot of work in front of them. They got to score here pretty quick. I guess here in 5:23, with them not getting the ball to start the second half, they want to probably take as much time as they can off the clock and score late, and then only have to stop Yankton once here the next couple of possessions to try and tie this game back up as they trail by 2. And this is the largest deficit that Pierre has had to face in quite some time. I believe week 8 of the 2018 season is as far back as we have to go to see the Yankton team trail that much. Josh Rouse will catch inside the 10-yard line. He's out to the 20, and he is drugged down from behind as he'll be at the 21-yard line where the Governors will take over. 1st and 10, 5:18 to play here in the first half, and this is a critical drive here for the Governors. They have not been in this situation before, and has been a long time since they've been in this situation, and for this younger team, this could be the ball game here for Pierre.
Yeah, and I think this is a drive where the Governors have to get some points on the board, even if it's just a field goal. I mean, you got to have something positive going into the locker room after a second quarter where the Governors are maybe just a little bit stunned.
Zach Lettler is wide open. The catch is made. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Governors. One play, 79 yards, and the Governors are right back within one score.
Yeah, and just a go route from Lettler on the near sideline, and he just ran right by Trevor Fitzgerald, the cornerback on this side for Yankton. Fitzgerald caught looking into the backfield, and a nice pass from Keenholz hit Lettler in stride, and then it was just off to the races. And Zach Lettler's got some good wheels, and 79 yards later, the Governors are back in this ball game.
Down by 9, they got to have this extra point here from Carson Miller to make it a one-possession game with 5:06 to play. High snap, the kick is up from Miller, and that one will go through the uprights, and it is a 8-point game once again, 22-14. Yankton leads by 8. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. That was a quick one-play drive, 79 yards on the pitch and catch between Lincoln Keenholz and Zach Lettler. And the Governors are back within a score, 5:06 to play here in the first half. 22-14, Yankton leads over the Pierre Governors. Joe Winkler alongside Greg Dean. That's an impressive drive for the Governors as the kick is away for Carson Miller all the way back to the 5-yard line where Fitzgerald will backpedal the 4. He's out to the 15, didn't get to the 15-yard line. Josh Rouse and the Yankton Bucks will take over at the 13-yard line. Fitzgerald's a little slow to get up as he got pretty much undercut on that tackle from Josh Rouse, who made a good open field tackle, but it's 1st and 10 from the 13.
And one thing that you have to question a little bit is as much and as quick as this Yankton offense has been tonight, you kind of wonder about whether maybe the fatigue factor is going to set in a little bit here as we get into the second half and get into the deeper reaches of this game.
As Corbin Solar will get the handoff, he'll go past the 15-yard line to the 16, a gain of 2 on the first round play. As 4:48 to play and counting in the first half, and this is a critical stop here for the Governors. If they can get it, this will be a critical stop if they get it. Empty backfield. 3 receivers out to the right side here for Fitzgerald. He'll take the snap and look to his right, now look left and throw over the middle, and that's going to be high. It's going to be intercepted by Keenholz, and the Governors have the ball and a chance to tie it up here in this first half. Excuse me, that is not Lincoln Keenholz. That is going to be Cord Ellis with the interception, and the Governors will have the ball inside Yankton territory.
Yeah, and Yankton had 3 receivers here on the near side. 2 of them ran post routes into the middle, and Cord Ellis just kind of playing center field, read the ball, read the quarterback. After Fitzgerald made the throw, Ellis came up, got the ball at its highest point, just took it away from the Yankton Buck receiver, and the Govs got something going. 4:29 here to go in the second quarter, and they're just at the 32-yard line of the Yankton Bucks.
Keenels will look to pass on first down. He'll throw over the middle, looking for his Lettler. The pass was tipped. Maybe looking for Bolwick first. The pass was tipped and falls incomplete. There's 7 Yankton Bucks right there, and only 2 Governors. That the odds don't end well for Lincoln Keenels, but it did there.
Yeah, and that's a play. And again, I think right now Lincoln Keenholz, when he's feeling a little pressure, the first thing he's looking for is his safety security blanket, and that's Reagan Bolwig. And again, he's gotten it through a couple of narrow windows tonight. Might be trying to force things just a little bit too much, but actually that was a pass that it got tipped up in the air, and Zach Ledler almost pulled some magic out of his hat and came down with that one.
Empty backfield here for Keenels, looking for Lettler again. Down the sideline to the corner, and it's going to fall incomplete. A flag's going to come flying in for pass interference. And it's going to be a pickup of 15 yards and a first down for the Governors as they'll take it out to the 17.
And the Yankton Buck coaching staff is livid, but they've got no reason to be livid because the coverage was Jaden. Okay, we talked about this name before, and Jaden Saperky out here on the near corner, and what happened was it was just a go route for Lettler into the near corner of the end zone, and Keenholz threw it up. Saperky never turned around. Went into Lettler with his arms up, and that was an obvious pass interference call.
15-yard penalty. Results, first down.
So it's first and 10 from the 17-yard line now for the Governors with 4:17 to go. That's a big, as Greg, as you said, that was a penalty on the Bucks, and one here for the Governors that they will look to take advantage of as referee's got to get his hanky back into his pocket as the Governors have it first and 10 from the 17, 4:17 to go here in the first half. Two receivers out the left side. It's Rasky and Lettler. Keenels will look to over the middle, now throwing up for Bolway. The catch is made in traffic. He is in the end zone for a touchdown, and the Governors are a 2-point conversion away from tying it up just like that with 4:11 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, just when you thought the Governors might be on a little bit of life support, and 2 minutes later, the Governors are a 2-point conversion away from tying this game. We're in for a wild ride tonight, John. This is going to be a good one.
And they're going to go for 2 to try and tie it up. That goes down as a 1-play drive with the penalty on the 17-yard catch by Reagan Bolwig. 4-2, handoff for Rasky. The penalty flag will come in. Rasky got into the end zone, but the flag is thrown on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage. It looks like it might be a false start here for the Governors.
Prior to snap. False start. Number 12.
As Reagan Bolwig that had the false start. So it'll be now an attempt here for the Governors from the 7-yard line, or near the 8-yard line, I should say. And we'll see the Governors still try and go for 2, try and tie it up. 22-20, 4:11 to go, only in the first half. This feels like we're going to play 4 quarters of fourth quarter football, but an empty backfield here for Keenholz. And they're looking to pass. Keenholz will roll to his left. He's going to try and catch one block from Rasky. Makes a big block, and Keenholz is in to tie it up with 22-22. And Coach Muth and Yankton is livid, looking for a flag on Rasky on the block, but they do not get a flag, and this game is tied 22-22 with 4:11 to play here in the first half. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. We are tied up at 22 here with 4:11 to play in the first half. Yankton will get the ball to start the second half, but here for the Pierre Governor team, down by 15, 2 minutes ago? Have tied the ball game up at 22.
Less than 2 minutes to go.
Less than 2. I mean, they've now scored their last 2 plays as they have technically there was a penalty in there, but the last 2 plays from scrimmage that they get is 2 touchdowns, 15 points, and it's 22-22 with 4:11 to play. That is quickly what the 2019 Pure Governor offense had, and the 2020 offense is able to replicate here in 2 plays for the Governors to tie it up at 22. Carson Miller will kick it off, and will kick it deep over to Trevor Fitzgerald again. He'll catch it at the 3-yard line, backed up to the 2. He's out to the 15, now to the 20, to the far sideline. He's out to the 25, where he's dropped to about the 26. And the Bucks, with 4:04 to play and 2 timeouts, will look to try and give themselves the lead going into halftime. And again, they will get the ball to start the second half, so they can go 2 for 1 and go back up by those 2 scores by the next time the Governors get possession, if they can score here late in the first half.
Yeah, and again, this is, I think everybody in this stadium is going to be tired the way that this game is going. The emotions are running high on both sides of the field, both sidelines, both fan bases. This is a really good football game, John. It doesn't matter who you're cheering for.
A gain of 1 for Corbin Solar, and it's 2nd and 9 with 3:40 to play here in the first half. 3 receivers out to the right side. Solar was in motion. Bolig will not get the sack on Fitzgerald. The catch is made by Oswald here on the near sideline, and he'll dive forward to about the 32 or 33. And Cody Oswald has his first grab of this ball game, the 4th different receiver to make a grab, and it'll be up 3rd and 2, a gain of 7.
First time we've seen Rugby Riken back at the quarterback position tonight, and he rolled out to his right, kind of put a little juke on Reagan Bolwig, and was able to buy a little extra time and able to complete that pass.
So it is, Riken now the quarterback for the Bucks, and we have a flag before the snap, and that will look likely back up the Yankton Bucks.
Right of snap. False start. Offense. Number 80. 5-yard penalty.
As that'll be Cody Oswald that gets the false start penalty, one of the receivers. Yeah, Riken in the game. He's 1 for 1 so far with that 7-yard pass. Fitzgerald, he is 6 for 9 with an interception, and that was the last ball he's thrown, was that interception. So here it is with the 3rd and 7, 3:01, 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Riken will look to pass on 3rd and 7. He's rolling out to his left. Now he's going to throw down the middle. He's got Solar. The catch is made, and he's off to the races. 40, 35, 30. Bowling will not catch him. 10, 5, touchdown Yankton Bucks. They are right back on top with 2:45 to go here in the first half. That is a gain of about 73 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, and just kind of a route out of the backfield, and Solar kind of got lost here on the near sideline and just got behind the Pierre secondary, and Riken, a lot of moxie back there as just a sophomore, was able to just buy a little time, went through his progressions, found Solar behind the Pierre secondary, lofted a nice ball, something that Solar could just run under, and then it was just a foot race to the end zone.
76-yard catch from Corbin Solar. As the low snap, the kick is going to be away, though, and that is going to be straight through the uprights. 29-22, 2:45 to go here in the first half. You're listening to Pure Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. So a quick 3-play drive there for the Yankton Bucks that went 79 yards, a 76-yard throw and catch from Rugby Riken. His first or his second throw of the game goes for 76 yards to Corbin Solar, and it is a 29-22 lead here for the Yankton Bucks with 2:45 to play in the first half. Greg, this is a heck of a football game. What a fun game to be a part of, and we still have another half of football left.
I tell you what, the way that I'm having to do Twitter updates on this game, I mean, I may run out of data before the end of the game is over. This is just back and forth. Like we said, at the 6-minute mark, it was 22-7, and we thought maybe the Governors are going to be out of this. And less than just a little over 3 minutes later, we've had 3 touchdowns scored in the last 3 minutes.
Josh Rouse will catch the ensuing kickoff, and he'll get out to about the 24-yard line, ends up running into his own man. I believe that was Houston Lundy that he ended up running into. And it will be the Governors that will take over as they will look for a quick score, 2:38 left. Again, Yankton gets the ball to start the second half, so this is an important drive for the Governors again to try and tie it up, because if they do not tie it up, Yankton has a chance to go back up by 2 scores in the first drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, and right now in this second quarter, neither defense has shown an ability to stop the opposing team's offense. We'll see what the Governors have up their sleeve with 2:38 here to go in the second quarter.
Keenels will roll to his right. He'll look to pass. He'll throw for Bullwig. Overthrows his target. And not a bad throw from Keenels, because he had to throw it over the top of the Aiden Fesser, and it does go incomplete. So that's one incompletion that you'll take on a missed pass.
Yeah, and actually it turned out to be a fairly well thrown ball. Feeser had Bullwig kind of tied up here about 15 yards downfield. Keenholz just kind of lofted it, and Bullwig was able to break free. And if Bullwig breaks free just about a second and a half earlier, he maybe runs under that ball, and we got another long score.
Bunch formation here. 2 receivers on each side. Empty backfield for Keenels. He'll throw to the right. Wide open. The catch is going to be made by Aaron Booth. He did not have complete possession of that, and it'll fall incomplete. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10. And overall, that was probably a good way the play ended, because if he would have had possession, it would have fumbled, and Yankton would have had a scoop and score.
Yeah, and ball just thrown just a little bit high. Booth had to go up and get it. Almost came down with it, but as he was trying to put the ball away and take full possession of it and either go to the ground or turn and run, Feeser just came in and knocked the ball out of his hands, and the Govs are now set at 3rd and 10 here late in the second quarter.
From the 24-yard line, Keenels look to pass. He'll throw over the middle for Bullwig. The catch is going to be made. He's wrapped up and dropped to the 46-yard line on a first down for the Governors. A gain of 22 for Reagan Bullwig, his 4th catch of the game.
Yeah, Bullwig just coming out of the tight end position on the far side of the field, on the right side of the formation, just with a post route, and he ran clear, found a spot in the middle of the second level for the Yankton Bucks, and just a nice ball from Keenholz, and the Governors got a first down.
Governors have all 3 timeouts still left with about 2:10 to go. Keenholz flush out of the pocket. He's rolling to his right, still on his feet. Will throw across his body. The catch is going to be made, and out to the races again is Zach Lettler. He's out of the 20 to the 15, and he's dropped down around the 12-yard line. And Zach Lettler again with another big catch, and he gets all the way to the 12. A big gain there for the Governors, as it'll be a gain of about 44.
And what Keenholz did that time was he got flushed out of the pocket, rolled to his right, and what made that play successful was Zach Lettler adjusted his route, came back to the ball in the middle of the field, and it was just an easy throw for Keenholz. And then Lettler found a lot of daylight in the middle of the field and had a nice positive yardage gain out of the deal.
Rasky bounces out to the right side. He's going to try to get the pylon. He's in for a touchdown. 11-yard run for McGuire Rasky, his 2nd of the game, his 9th touchdown in 3 games. And the Governors are an extra point away from tying it back up with 1:35 to play in the first half.
John, my thumbs are going to get tired tonight. I'm going to get calluses if I keep having to do all these Twitter updates. That's the 8th touchdown of the game so far, 4 for each team right now. I mean, this is an amazing football game right now. I'm not sure the scoreboard operator is going to get tired tonight too.
That's a 5-play, 79-yard drive, 11-yard run. And again, Carson Miller had to hesitate on the extra. The kick is up and is good. So we are tied again with 95 seconds to play in the first half. 29-29. Boy, this is an absolutely fantastic football game. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. 29-29 with 1:35 left to go here in the first half. John Winkler alongside the calloused and carpal tunnel Greg Dean as he continues to update the Twitter, and he's going to wear himself out here. You're listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station, and why wouldn't you be listening right now? This is a heck of a football game. We haven't, outside of a state championship the last 2 years, we haven't seen a regular season contest like this for the Pierre Governors out since 2018 in week 8 when they came back from a 30-point deficit, basically a 30-point deficit against, I believe, Roosevelt it was.
Yeah, and if you're listening to the call of this game on the radio, and you wanna see actually what's going on, flip over the KCCR Sports YouTube page. This is just a great game to watch. It's too bad you're not here. If you're here and listening to us, thank you very much. If you're not here, dial in. You'll get some of the emotions going on. But this is just this is a really fun ball game right now, John.
It'll be Tyler Solar that will catch it at the 3-yard line from Karsten Miller's ensuing kick. He's out to the that is Oswald that will catch it out to the 22-yard line, where the Bucks will take over with 1:29 to play here in the first half. And Yankton's going to try and see if he can't get this. The Yankton Bucks try and take the lead again. We got a picture from Ryan Kruger. He's in the comfy confines of his living room right now, watching us on YouTube and has us pulled up. So appreciate the picture there, Coach Kruger. As it's a 5 wide receiver set, empty backfield here for Rugby Ryken with 1:29 to play from the 22-yard line. Rolling to his right, Ryken will step up. He'll throw over the middle, and he's going to throw it in between Corbin Solar and as well as Jordan Crawl, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, Govs in man-to-man coverage that time. Ryken rolled out. The Govs brought pressure up the middle. Colin Brueggemann with a blitz up the middle out of his middle linebacker position. Ryken was able to roll away from it, bought some time, and the Govs were able to cover that one nicely in the secondary.
3 receivers out to the right side, 2 to the left. Empty backfield again, 5 wide receivers set, and we'll have a flag come in as the play clock was still at 14. It looks like it will be a false starts here called on Yankton.
False start. Offense, number 56.
As that will be on Carson Hack as the left tackle. 29-29, 1:22 to play here in the first half. 2nd and 15 from the 17-yard line. They're going to do the same formation here they did in the first play and also before the penalty. As Ryken will look to pass again, he's going to roll to his left. He's going to throw down the field looking for Zarbach. That's up in the air. The catch is made by Zarbach. He'll step through 3 different defenders, but before down at the 48-yard line in Governor territory. A big gain there, as there will be a timeout taken by Coach Muth, his second of the first half with 1:11 to go. That's a big throw and catch from Ryken to Zarbach.
Yeah, and Zarbach just came from the near side of the field, came all the way across the field. What the Bucks are doing is they're running wide receivers from both sides of the field on post routes, and so they're actually crossing in the middle of the field, and it's causing some confusion for the Governor secondary. And Zarbach that time, just as Ryken rolled to his left, Zarbach is going with him, coming across from the near side of the field to the far side of the field, and Ryken was able to find him as he broke free as he crossed the hash marks. And so the Yankton Bucks are operating. There's 1:11 to go here in the second quarter. The Bucks have the ball on the Governor 48-yard line. Can either team get a stop right now? Right now, the way this game is going is really going to boil down to which team can get a stop.
You're exactly right. And here in about another 1:11, and we can go through some totals, but they're about to get back to playing here. You want to stick around for the halftime stats, because these are full game stats I'm going to tell you at halftime, because we have 2 quarterbacks, actually 3 quarterbacks, that have gone over 100 yards passing in one half of football. Yeah, 3 quarterbacks with over 100 yards passing. Empty backfield here for Ryken again. He'll be flushed out of the pocket quickly. Ball couldn't get the sack. The throw on the run, it's going to be low, and it will fall incomplete. Tyler Solar was the intended target, but on the run, it was offline from Ryken.
Yeah, and give Ryken a lot of credit. Bolwig came on a designated blitz out of the near side, and he had a free rush coming through, and Ryken just pivoted and spun back around and kind of left Bolwig in his dust, and was able to roll out here to the near side and had a wide open receiver, just missed him. 3
receivers out to the right side, 2nd and 10, as it will be Ryken again, flushed out of the pocket. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to be wrapped up and sacked. He fumbled the football. No, they're going to say he's down at the 30-yard line, all the way back. That's a big loss, and the Governors are now going to take a timeout. It'll be their first timeout. Steve Steele is the 12th man on the field for the Governors. give him some shoulder pads.
And I tell you what, he literally was. He was all the way out to the numbers on the 30-yard line trying to call timeout, because the way that Governor offense has operated tonight, he wants to give Lincoln Keenholz in that offensive unit one more shot, and it's going to be 3rd and forever for the Bucks right now. It'll be 3rd and
32.
32, yeah.
A loss of 22.
And again, Riken went back to pass. He started feeling pressure from Bolwig and Gunnar Gehring on the left side, tried to spin out of it. And when he did, he retreated and then ran into pressure coming from the other side and just did not have time even to try to find a receiver to try to get rid of the ball. And because of that, that's a huge play for the Governors. If they can hold here on third and 32, and you'd think the odds would be in their favor, but if they can hold here on third and 32, maybe get the ball back because the Governors have 2 timeouts left. The way this offense is run tonight, I'm not going to put a bet on anything right now.
I say that the offense has been in a good shape as of late for the Governors, but it's third and 32 from the 30-yard line, 52 seconds to go. Governors have got an imperative to get a stop here on third down. A quick throw here to the near side. The catch is going to be made by Solar, and he's going to be out of bounds. So the Governors will save a timeout, and Yankton will have to punt the ball away as they'll pick up just about 8 yards of that back. So it'll still be 4th and 20 for the Bucks.
Yeah, and again, that's a good observation because if Solar stays in, or if Solar stays in bounds, the Governors have to burn a timeout in order to stop the clock. Right now, the clock stopped with 45 seconds when Solar went out of bounds, so they'll have an opportunity to run 3, maybe 4 plays as long as they get this ball back in good shape.
Ball was initially dropped, and Paulson was still able to get the punt away, but it's going to go out of bounds past be outside the 35-yard line. They're going to go all the way to the 37. Nope. Back it back up to the 40-yard line. So it'll be first and 10 for the 40-yard line for the Pierre Governors. It went to the 42, and then he backed up a couple times. And between the 2 referees, they're able to confer to see where that ball went out. So the Governors now, and we have seen 2 punts so far in this first half, 1 for each side. And the Governors are here with 38 seconds left. Yankton still has a timeout, so they can burn one here if they get to 3rd and long. We can see maybe Yankton try and get one more stab at it. Keno's will look to pass. Quick throw to the right side. Muraski will make the catch. He's going to try and lose the defender, but he's going to be thrown down by Fieser, and it'll be a loss all the way back to the 34, 33-yard line. That's a loss of 7 for Muraski on his first catch.
And the clock is running. The Governors are not making an attempt to stop the clock right now, and so we'll see if maybe they just take one more shot here as the clock winds down to 10 seconds to go.
Keno's will throw. Rasky will make the catch as he will sidestep one man. He's out. So he's going to get all the way past, and the flag's going to come in as Rasky's going to take it almost all the way to the house. He will, but a flag comes in on a illegal block that Yankton scored on early in the first half on a clear and obvious call, but the Governors are not going to get the touchdown here. So they're going to get one. Yankton will get twice here in the first half. Will pick up basically 14 points because of that.
Yeah, and that's a unfortunate play for the Governors, and that should be the last play of the first half as the clock is wound down to 0. Penalty on the offensive team. So I think that will be the last play of the first half. Very entertaining first half for the Governors, John, and for the Bucks.
As the penalty will have to be accepted, but it should be the end of the half but they are marking it off. So with no time left, it should be the end of the half, but we'll wait to see what the official word is here shortly. It wasn't a block in the back that's going to be called on the Governors. One that might have helped them score, but on the other end, it helped Yankton score, and they got away with it.
Number 2 on the offense. The clock expired. That is halftime.
So we have hit halftime. Still a heck of a game here. 29-29 here at the break between the Governors and the Yankton Bucks. We'll step aside for 3 minutes, and we'll come back with our halftime stats. They're going to feel like full game stats, but they're going to be halftime stats. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to Yankton, as it is halftime, I want to make the joke that we're welcoming you in the post-game show, but I want to make sure that everybody knows that we are at halftime here as it's 29-29, because these stats here in this game, Greg, are wild here for a first half between two teams, something that we have not seen between Pierre and their opponent of any kind in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and again, we'll see what kind of mental strength that the Governors have coming out of the locker room here in the second half. A position that they have not been in for a long time. Not only the fact that they are tied at halftime, but in a shootout, and in a shootout where the Yankton Buck offense has really done a nice job. I mean, they've been able to connect on some big plays. They haven't had a lot of success running the ball, but they've done just enough running the ball to keep the Governors offense, and especially keep those blitzers and guys coming off the edge to that can usually provide some pressure, keep them kind of back just a little bit. Been able to give Fitzgerald and Reichen some extra time back there, and then give a lot of credit to those Yankton quarterbacks. They've done a nice job in terms of finding open receivers tonight.
And as we go through the stats here, McGuire, we'll start with Yankton here. With Corbin Solar on the grounds, only got 32 yards on 16 carries. That's about as normal as the stats get from there. Swanson's got 44 yards on one carry. That was a fake punt. Fitzgerald's got 52 yards and a touchdown in 9 carries so far. But here through the air, Trevor Fitzgerald is 6 for 9 with an interception, and he's got 111 yards. Rugby Reichen, he is 4 for 6 for 124 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Solar's got 2 catches for 29. Zarbach's got 4 catches for 123 yards. Corbin Solar with the 2 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. And Oswald's got a catch for 7 yards. So there's the other of the 2 normal stats in the first half. But as I haven't even had a chance to add up the total yardage for both teams. But for McGuire Rasky for the Governors, 72 yards on 14 carries. He scored twice on the ground. He's got 9 touchdowns here in 3 games so far for the Governors. Lincoln Keenels is at 8 for 14 through the air for 198 yards. He did have a 205 yards until that last reception by Rasky lost 7 yards. So he's got 198 yards on 8 completions on 14 attempts, 2 touchdown passes, 4 catches for Bolwick for 71 yards and a touchdown. And Zach Lettler's got 3 catches for 134 yards and a touchdown. McGuire Rasky with that 1 catch for -7 yards. That's the offense for both those two teams. Not a whole lot of defense to go around right now. And I know, Coach Lewis in the locker room, he's probably not too happy with that defense, but this is just how this game is going. Sometimes you get into a defensive battle. This is just 2 offenses going blow for blow right now.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier today, John, that Yankton has a passing attack that the Governors have not seen this kind of high-powered offense. And not only the high-powered offense, but the quick strike offense. Like we said, the first drive that Yankton had that they came up empty on when they missed the field goal, they had a 17-play drive that took about 6 minutes. I mean, they were only using about 15 seconds to get from the time the ball was spotted to get to the line, call the play, and then snap the ball again. I mean, it was almost like a 2-minute offense almost. And so again, the Governors have done a nice job in terms of responding. You certainly wouldn't have been surprised if they would have kind of hung their head a little bit, being down 22-7, thinking that they were maybe going to be out of this game, because Yankton had kind of punched them in the mouth a little bit. But a couple of big plays for the Governors, both the Lettler 79-yard touchdown pass, the interception by Cord Ellis, and then the quick strike again from where Rasky scored, got him right back in this ball game. 43 points scored in the last 6 minutes of this second quarter total combined for both teams. I don't know what to say. I mean, all I can tell you is that this is going to be a really fun second half.
And again, this is all, for me, unofficial stats, and for you that I'm telling you right now, these are unofficial stats, but I got a margin of probably about 20 yards. I'll give myself plenty of air because it is me. But for the Yankton Bucks, they have 111 rushing yards, 235 yards to the air, 346 yards of the first half. They are on pace for a near 700 yards in this game. Not Not too much. It's only 700 yards that they're averaging. The Governors, 72 yards on the ground, 198 yards through the air, and 270 yards in total. So they're on pace for over 500 yards here in this game. Talk about a shootout. I mean, this is getting close to the Denver Broncos, Dallas Cowboys from a couple years ago when Romo and Peyton Manning went drive for drive, and the final score was like 52-47 or something like that. We're looking at that kind of a game here between Pierre and Yankton.
And I know you said that Yankton's got 111 yards rushing or whatever, but remember 44 came on that one fake punt. And so if you take that out of the mix, the Governors have really done I think a decent job in terms of controlling the running game. Yankton has not gotten much between the tackles. What they've gotten is stuff when they have gotten to the edge on either side. And so I think what the Governors are going to have to do is probably do a little better job of getting pressure on the Yankton quarterbacks, whether that's Fitzgerald or Reich, and contain them. We saw that here late in the second quarter when they were able to sack Rugby Riken for about a 25-yard loss late in the second quarter. If they can continue to put pressure, make Riken or Fitzgerald retreat, and just not allow them to get comfortable back in that pocket or on a rollout, then I think the Governors will have some success here in the second half.
Governors and Bucks are tied 29-29 here at the break. As we'll step aside for a couple minutes, we'll come back. We'll give you some score updates from around the state. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Back here at Yankton as it is 29-29 here at the break between the Pierre Governors and the Yankton Bucks. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean.
Yeah, just some quick score updates from across South Dakota. In 11 AA, Huron leads Douglas 14-0. That game is at the half. Brookings leads Sturgis 34-7. That game also at the half. Mitchell and Spearfish will play tomorrow night in Mitchell. Other scores next week. The Governors will take on T, ranked number 1 this week in 11A. They are taking it to West Central. T 31, West Central 0. That game at halftime. Stanley County running into a little bit of a buzzsaw against Woonsocket Western Springs. Sanborn Central down 21-0. That game at half. And Sully Buttes making the trek up to Harriet, up to Campbell County, leads Harriet Selby area 8-6. That game also at half.
As we play here, getting set for the second half, we'll step aside. We'll come back with the second half. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here, as we get set for the second half, the Pierre Governors taking on the Yankton Bucks. We are set for the second half, and the Bucks will have first possession of this third quarter as they go from left to right. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean. As we welcome you those on KCCR, as well as KCCR.com and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. As the Governors will kick it away. Karsten Miller will kick it as Oswald is back deep along with Spurgecki. I think that's how you Supergecki. I believe that's how we said we were going to pronounce his name. 12 minutes are on the clock. We're getting set for the third quarter.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
There we go. Sounds good. As Miller will kick it deep. And it'll go for Oswald. Thank goodness went to Oswald. Here's at the 8-yard line. He's out to the 15 as he'll get to the 20, and he's upended and dropped down around the 21-yard line. And it's first and 10 from the 21 for the Bucks. And we'll see if it's Ryken or Fitzgerald to start this second half. Here, and it looks like it will be going to be Fitzgerald to start this drive for Yankton here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and again, whatever team can mount a defensive stand and potentially have the ball in their hands at the end of the game, and whoever scores last, those are the three kind of criteria for winning this ball game the way this first half has gone.
Three receivers out to the left side. Fitzgerald will go back to pass. Quick slant pass, and the catch is made by Zarbach. He's out to the 31, and right at that 31-yard line, a gain of 10 for Zarbach, and it's first and 10 quickly here for the Yankton Bucks.
Zarbach just on a post route out of the near side, out of a split end position, and Governors are playing a little bit soft, playing a four-man zone right now, and Zarbach just comes underneath that zone and found some running room.
Fitzgerald will go up the middle with the design run. The ball comes out, and Fitzgerald is able to fall back on top of it as he gets to the 3-yard to the 34-yard line, a gain of 3, and it's second and 7.
Yeah, Fitzgerald actually had somebody after the ball went to the ground, actually had one of the Governors come and hit him and try to tackle him in the back, and actually tackled him onto the top of the football. And so a little break right there for the Bucks. Second
and 7 from the 34 as Fitzgerald will keep it on the read option, and he'll pick up a couple of yards past the 35 to about the 37. It'll be a gain of 3. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 here for Yankton.
And again, something we haven't seen out of Yankton a lot so far is just this read option, and they've gotten some positive yardage going up the middle so far to start this second half.
3rd and 4 from the 37. Bowman coming off the edge. The throw is going to be dropped. Actually, not dropped. It just falls incomplete as Bowman applied the pressure, and no chance for Fitzgerald. And a punt unit will come out here for Yankton to open up the third quarter.
And that might have been the first. Correct me if I'm wrong, John, but I think that's the first 3 and out of the game on either side.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The only other time that we've seen, actually, no, the Governors did have a 3 and out in the first quarter.
Okay.
But the first 3 and out here for Yankton. And here's 4th and 4 from the 37. The Governors got to be ready for any kind of a fake. Although it looks, I don't think Yankton will pull it out twice, especially in their own end. It will be a punt from Paulson. And Brasky will go back. An excellent punt from Paulson. He's going to let it bounce inside the 20-yard line. Rolls to the 15. And how about that for Paulson? What a fantastic kick from Trevor Paulson from the 36-yard line all the way down to the Governor 15.
Yeah, close to a 50-yard punt for the Bucks. And the Governors thought maybe they were going to have some decent field position to start this second half. Now find themselves backed up in the shadow of their own goal line. And we'll see what Coach Steve Steele and the coaching staff did at halftime. What kind of adjustments did they make in the locker room to try to put the Governors in a position for success here in the second half?
Keno's look to pass, he'll throw. Lettler can make the catch. He bobbled it, and he might have used an offender to make the catch with Spurgecki. And it's a 1st and 10 for the 32 now, a gain of around 17 for Lettler.
Yeah, post route for Lettler coming off of the near side and give the offensive line for the Governors a lot of credit. Keenholz had plenty of time back there, and just that allowed Lettler to clear and come into the opening in the middle of the Buck defense, and Keenholz threw a nice ball, and the Governors have a first down, and they're motoring right now with about 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Rasky will take it out to about the 39-yard line, a gain of about 7 on that. We'll call it a gain of 6 on that first down run, as he's now up to 78 yards. Actually, we will call it a gain of 79 yards for Rasky. A handoff again on 2nd and 3. This time he's dropped in the backfield. We're right at the line of scrimmage at the 39-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 now from the 39.
Yeah, Xavier Leonard for the Bucks right out of his defensive tackle position had Rasky wrapped up just about as soon as he hit the line of scrimmage and didn't let him go anywhere. And so the Govs are now in 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 at their own 38.
Third down and 3 from the 38-yard line. A pitch over the right side for Rasky. He'll slice up one tackler. He's got enough for a first down. He gets them out to the 45. A gain of 7 for McGuire Rasky in his first and 10 for the Governors. That's a big third down conversion here for Pierre.
Yeah, and so far what we've seen is a good mix of run and pass. And again, I'm not sure that there's any coaching staff in South Dakota that maybe makes better halftime adjustments than Steve Steele and his coaching staff do. And so far, they've given the Gov offense some opportunity to move here early in the second quarter.
Kenols will step up in the pocket. He's going to run with it. He'll dive to about the 49-yard line. A gain of 4 for Lincoln Kenols, and it's 2nd and 6. And that's the first time Kenols now in positive yardage here on the ground, 4 yards on 4 carries.
Yeah, and just had some time back there. Just went through his progressions, didn't see anything break open. Was looking for Lettler on the near side, and when he was covered up, just pulled it down, got some positive yardage. And the Governors have 2nd and medium.
Another pitch over the right side for Rasky. He'll take it to the 46-yard line across midfield, and it's going to be enough for a first down. A gain of 6 for Rasky. And the Governors are looking to kind of keep the pace moving here. 1st and 10 from the Yankton at 44-yard line.
Yeah, and again, just Rasky goes in the offset on the far side, and it's just a pitch play, and he just gets to the edge and gets what he can.
Rasky has to step in the pocket. He'll throw over the top of Aaron Booth. He's in the vicinity. They'll bring up 2nd and 10. As the Booth was by about 5 yards short of that pass. As it went over his head.
And Keenholz did a nice job back there trying to buy a little time. He had to dance around a little bit and kind of evade a couple of Yankton Buck rushers. And actually, if he is able to float that ball out and if he and Booth are on the same page, if Booth could have caught that ball in open space and could have been off to the races.
2 receivers on each side. 2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line. 7:54 to play here in the third quarter. Rasky will go out wide, and a flag will come in. And it looks like maybe they would be going against the Governors.
False start. Offense. Number 52.
So the false start will be on Jace Beestrom. And it's 2nd and 15 now, all the way back to the Yankton 49-yard line.
Yeah, and again, if the Governors come out after holding Yankton to a 3-and-out, put some points on the board here in the third quarter to start the second half on their first possession in the second half, that'll be a big lift of momentum for the Governors.
2nd and 15 for the 49. Kenols back to pass. He'll throw across his body, and that was almost picked off as it had the opportunity was Mason Rizika. And it's now 3rd and 15 for the 49-yard line. Boy, that was a dangerous pass and almost an interception for Yankton. Would have been the 4th on the year for Keenholz.
Yeah, Keenholz rolling to his left, tried to throw back across the field, and Rizika in his middle linebacker position just knocked that down and almost came away with the interception.
Keenholz will throw on 3rd and 15, throws it up in the air, a jump ball coming down and fall incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down and 15 as looking to go on the right side. I believe that was
Jackson Edmond, I think, over there on the far side.
So Jackson Edmond had that chance, but it falls incomplete, and the Governors are going to have to punt the ball away here on 4th and 15. So the Yankton Buck defense stands, and for the first time, we've seen the score stay still for more than 10 minutes, more than 2 minutes, really.
Yeah, and so, again, the Yankton Buck defense bent a little bit to start this second half, but then stood strong.
And a bad snap. Lettler's going to fall on top of it, and he's going to be down inside his own territory at the 32-yard line. So Yankton's got a short field to work with, as really for the Governors, they lost a lot of yard, but they only picked up maybe about 15 on that full possession there, as the Bucks will have it at the Governor 32.
And again, same thing happened last week against West Central. Just a high snap on the punt, and Lettler not able to bring it down. And by the time he was able to corral it, he had about $3 on top of him. And now we'll see what kind of backbone the Governor defense has here in the third quarter.
Fitzgerald will have to escape pressure right away. Somehow the line got broken free in the first millisecond of the snap, and Bull was able to drop him down along with Cord Ellis in the backfield, and it'll be a loss of 2. Loss of 1 back to the 33.
Yeah, and luckily for the Governors, Reagan Bolwig was able to bring him down, because if he's able to make one more move, Fitzgerald maybe breaks out of that hold of Bolwig's, and if he does, he's to the corner and has a lot of daylight.
As Corbin Solar will take the carry to about the 31-yard line. He'll pick up 2 yards, and it's now 3rd and 9 from the 31. And again, just about 2 yards per carry. It is 2 yards still a carry here for Corbin Solar, 34 on 17, but it's 3rd and 9 for Yankton. We'll look to pass. Fitzgerald will throw to the flat. The catch is going to be made and over and to a first down inside the 20 of the 15. And out of bounds is Gavin Swanson. And it's going to be a first down, and the Governors were that close to getting out of that drive, but it's going to continue as it gets to about the 12, 13-yard line, a gain of about 18 for Swanson.
Yeah, and Fitzgerald just eluded, I think it was Preston Taylor coming right up the middle on the rush for the Governors, and was able to float the ball out for Swanson out on the far flat, and he was able to run away from Reagan Bolwig on that play.
Jet sweep for Solar. He's in the backfield. He's going to try escape pressure. He does. He's out to the 10, to the 5, and he's going to be in the end zone for a touchdown, and Yankton is back up on top, 35-29.
Yeah, and that was all Corbin Solar. He evaded about 3 Governors, made 2 of them miss in the backfield, and then got to the edge, and then it was just a foot race, and give him credit. I mean, the Governors have done a nice job bottling him up all night long in the middle of the field, but that time he got to the edge and just did a nice job in terms of just doing it all on his own. So good job. Pat the Bucks on the back. They turned a turnover, Governor turnover, into 6, maybe 7 points.
Gavin Fortner on for the extra point to give him a 7-point lead. As the snap is good, the kick is up, and it will be good as well. 36-29 with 6:20 to go here in the third quarter. Governors trail once again. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. It was a 4-play, 32-yard drive and a 11-yard touchdown run here for the Yankton Bucks, as they are now up 36-29 with 6:20 to go here in the third quarter. The Governors had the opportunity to take the lead, but they end up with the punt, end up being a turnover on downs because they didn't get the punt away. And so now the Governors will have to try and come back again, as they have led just to 1 so far in this game, as they led 7-0 early on, and that's the only time they have led so far in this game against Yankton.
Yeah, and I tell you what, give Yankton credit. The Governors were driving. The Yankton Buck defense stiffened up, forced the punt. Bad snap on the punt, and the Bucks took over, and they were able to convert and turn that into a touchdown.
Josh Rouse will take it around the 15-yard line. He's out to the 25 and near the 28-yard line where he's dropped. And the Governors will have to work down the field again, as it will be 1st and 10 from around the 28s here for Pierre with 6:13 to play in the third quarter. And you feel like anytime Yankton scores and takes the lead, this is a must-score drive for the Governors to try and keep up with Yankton.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of magic Steve Steele can pull out of that offensive playbook tonight. He may have to dig down deep, and I think we're going to see it right here with McGuire Rasky in the Wildcat formation.
Rasky will take the snap. He'll go up the middle with it, and he'll slip through a couple of tacklers, and he'll be all the way down to the 34-yard line, as there'll be a gain of about 6. And it's going to be 2nd and 4.
And Rasky got about 4 yards after he was first hit and wrapped up, and just kept the feet churning and spun a couple times and just was able to make some extra yardage out of that Wildcat snap.
And now he's in the backfield. He tried to spin away from the offensive line, but he's going to go all the way back to the 31. He'll lose 2 yards, and it's now 3rd and 6. And I would think that Keenels will now go back to be the quarterback, or unless they're going to try and stick with Rasky here as the quarterback. And I believe Keenels will come back, and he'll take the snap here. 3rd and 7 from the 31. 5:20 to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and again, Rasky wildcat snap into the middle of the line, got bunched up, tried to bounce, and when he did, he just got wrapped up 2 yards back in the backfield.
Keenels will throw on the run. Sliding grab is dropped, and it will be incomplete, and the Governors are going to have to punt the ball away again. It'll be a quick 3 and out. Went to Zach Lettler and just couldn't grab the ball. And it'll be as Lettler have to go back to punt it away now here for the Governors. It'll be 4th and 7 from their own 31.
Yeah, and so now the onus goes back on the Pierre Governor defense. We'll see if they can rise to the challenge here and try to get another 3 and out and try to keep the Bucks off the scoreboard.
Oswald is back at his own 36-yard line, looking for a better snap here on this 4th down play. And now the Governors almost looks like a punt. They say it's got tipped, so there's going to be no punter interference, but Zach Lettler, he's in a lot of pain. That hurts when you get tackled as a punter. And Lettler's going to try and hop off the field, and the Governors will have to have a quick work here for the defense because the Yankton Bucks have it at the Governor 48-yard line here on this next possession.
And I don't know if that was a design play or not, but Lettler almost made a rugby-style kick on that one as he took the snap and then took a couple steps to his right, and when he did, kind of got some pressure from the Yankton Buck defense, and the referee immediately signaled that he was that there was a tip on the ball. Otherwise, that would have been at least roughing the kicker, if not running into the kicker.
So that is a loss of 4 yards on the first down run for Corbin Solar, all the way back to the 48 of Yankton now, and it'll bring up 2nd and 14 from the 48-yard line. Fitzgerald's still in at quarterback. 3 receivers Solar will join the 2 receivers on the left side. Empty backfield. Fitzgerald look to the left side. Now he's going to run with it. We have a flag down on the far side. Fitzgerald will run out, and we'll see what the flag is here, if it's going to be on Yankton or not, as it's going to be either a 3rd and medium here for, I guess, either way. We're going to have some kind of probably redo of 2nd down on the penalty, whether it's on Pierre or Yankton.
Flag came in after the snap, so it's not a motion or an offsides kind of penalty would be my guess.
And Yankton's moving back. It's illegal shift on Yankton.
Illegal motion. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So it'll be a 5-yard penalty on Yankton. Be 2nd and 14. All the way back to about the 43-yard line now. Should be 2nd and 19 from the 43. Fitzgerald, shotgun formation, will take the snap, look to his left, he'll throw, and Zarbach couldn't catch it on the run. It falls incomplete. Keenels, as well as Josh Rouse, I believe, is back there on the coverage. And it's now 3rd and 19 here for Yankton.
Yeah, and Zarbach just out of the split end position on the far side, just a post route into the middle of the field, and Keenholz on the coverage, running with him step for step. Nice coverage, and got help from Rouse at the end to knock the ball away from Zarbach.
3rd and 19 from the 43. Man goes in motion. That's Tyler Solar over the left side of the line. They'll bring another. Actually, this one is Tyler Solar moving over to the right side of the line. The ball is loose. They're going to try a flea flicker, but Yankton can't get to the ball in time, and they end up falling on it at their own 25-yard line. And they'll bring up 4th down and very long here for Yankton. They're going to have to put the ball away, as it was Max Rabb who went in motion first. He was going to be the guy to throw the ball to Fitzgerald, as he was breaking out for a halfback pass basically, and nothing was doing. It's 4th and 37.
Yeah, and Yankton's lucky that they were able to fall on the ball back there, because it was on the ground for a long period of time.
So here's another punt upcoming for Paulson, and this one will still take a good hop here for Yankton all the way down to the Governor's 29-yard line. So again, Paulson from his own right around his own 10-yard line will 20 to the 29 of the Governors, flipping the field again for Yankton.
Yeah, and his last 2 punts, Paulson's last 2 punts, have gone 45 to 50 yards with no return on either one. And that when you can get that kind of field position change, that's a huge huge momentum shift for your defense. You just put your defense in a much better situation. And so we'll see what Lincoln Keenholz and the Governor offense have up their sleeve on this drive.
A pitch to the outside for McGuire Rasky. He's in the backfield. A flag will come in, and usually that's a signal of some kind of a hold on the Governors. It's at the 30-yard line, right at the normal line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a hold on the Governors. It'll be a loss of 3 if they take it. But I believe they're going to take that penalty on the Governors and make it first and long. So looks like it will be accepted. Waiting for the official to make the official word on the call and who it was on.
Holding. Offense. Number 16. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
As
Correction. Number was 85.
there we go. We'll get a better number there to give you. As it's on Colin Brueggemann. It said it was a 16 first and wasn't sure who number 16 was for the Governors. And they don't have a 16 anyway. But it's now first and 22 from the 16-yard line. As Keenholz will go to the right side. It's going to be a design run for Keenholz. He's going to pick up very few, if any. Actually, he's going to maybe lose a yard back to the 15. So it's now second and 23 for the Governors.
Yeah, and Rasky goes in motion to the far side, and hopefully the design was to take one or two Yankton Bucks with him, but the left side of the Yankton Buck defensive line just collapsed on that play and held Keenholz to no gain.
Keenholz will look to pass here on second and 23. He'll throw downfield into double coverage. It's up, and it is intercepted by Yankton, as it is Oswald to make the interception. And it's going to be first and 10 for the Bucks, but there is a flag down. And it looks like it might be on Yankton. One of the receivers for the Governors went straight to the ground. He looked like he got held down. And we'll see. It looks like maybe the Pierre offense has not gone off the field yet. It'll be a hold on Yankton. It did not look normal that one of the receivers went down from Pierre trying to go out for a pass so that they are able to escape a interception.
Yeah, and a lot of time for Lincoln Keenholz. The Governor offensive line is giving him plenty of time to throw, just a straight drop back.
34. 10-yard penalty, previous spot, first down.
So it's an illegal use of hands. It's a 10-yard penalty for first down. At least, well, that's what the referee said. I don't know if that's actually going to be a first down because it would be a first and 10, not first and what would have been like first and 13.
Yeah, and they have not moved the down marker has moved, but the chains have not moved. So the referee is over giving an explanation to Coach Muth from Yankton. We'll see if it's, and now the down marker is showing second down and about 15. So that's probably the right call.
So yeah, it'd be second down from the 25-yard line. Call second and 14 here for the Pierre Governors. Pistol formation. As Keenholz will look to throw. All kinds of time in the pocket. And then he's wrapped up. He couldn't throw the ball. He couldn't find anybody open. And the mental clock in his head, it was one that should have been able to scramble out. But also the line was all the way around him. So he's going to be sacked for a loss all the way back to the 11-yard line. So a big loss there on second down. And it's third and very long, third and 25, back to the 16.
Yeah, that was a coverage sack because, like you said, Keenholz had a lot of time back there and was able to just sit and work through his progressions, but just could not find anybody. And then Jaden Leitner came in at the last minute and was able to put Keenholz on the ground.
So here's Keenholz here on third down. He's going to try and throw it out for Zach Lettler in stride. Lettler makes the catch for a first down. Zach Lettler, a sliding grab past the 50-yard line all the way down to the Bucks 46. From the 16 to the 46, and what a throw and what a catch from Lincoln Keenholz to Zach Lettler.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful ball. And again, Keenholz had a lot of time back there. Lettler on a go route down the near sideline and just hit him in stride, and Lettler able to corral the ball, went right to the ground. Good coverage by the Bucks. Jaden Jaden Supergoodgie, and he was it was a good catch, good pitch and throw, and the Governors have some life now here in the middle of the third quarter.
Keenels will throw. That's up in the air. It's intercepted by the Bucks. They have the ball again at the 30-yard line to the 35, and it'll be out to the 37. So one big play for the Governors, and they throw it, and another interception for Yankton. The second one, it would have been on the drive. It was going to be, I believe it's going to be Aiden Fieser that made the interception, as he will be taken down to the 38s, and the Bucks have a chance to go back up by 2 scores again.
And had a couple of Governor receivers in the area, but also there was about 3 Bucks, and unfortunately for the Govs, the Bucks came away with that interception.
Handoff up the middle. Solar breaks free. He's out to the clear, to the 40, to the 35, 30, 25, 20. Yankton is back up by 2 scores as it is Corbin Solar that will take it from the 38-yard line all the way in for a 62-yard touchdown. And it's 42-29 with 1:19 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, just a play that the Governors had stopped all night long, just a straight handoff up the middle. Solar was able to get to the second level, get into the linebacking level, and then just broke to the near sideline, and then it was just a foot race to the end zone, and Solar won that one, and so now the Governors got to dig down deep. They're down 13, could be 14 if this PAT is successful.
With 1:19 left to go here in the third quarter, as it will be on for the extra point, and Fortner kick is up, and that one is going to be good. And it is a 43-29 lead here for the Yankton Bucks with 1:19 to go here in the third. You listen to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to Yankton, a quick one-play drive, 62 yards on the carry from Corbin Solar. And the Yankton Bucks are back up by 2 scores, 43-29, with 1:19 to play here in the third quarter. As Corbin has had 2 touchdowns on the ground here for the Bucks, and he's also caught a pass for a touchdown as well. So 3 touchdowns in total here for Solar. And Yankton's put 43 points here on this Governor defense. On the kickoff, it'll be taken by Josh Rouse again, straight up the middle here for the Governors. Rouse is out to the 30 to the 35. And it'll be 1st and 10 here for Pierre at the Governor 35-yard line. So they moved Rasky over to the left side of the near side of the field here for us. And they kicked it out. They've been avoiding Rasky all game by kicking it out to Josh Rouse.
Yeah, and so the Governor's good field position here to start their drive late in the third quarter. But again, they're down by 2 scores. They probably need to put something on the board here in order to have an opportunity to come back and try to win this ball game.
Overthrowing Colin Bergman on the first down to pass, so it's now 2nd and 10 as Keenels is now he is 10 for 21 for 259 yards and an interception, 2 touchdown passes so far. 2nd and 10 from the 35, 1:07 to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, Keenels just rolled out to his right, had Brueggemann open in the flat and just overthrew him, unfortunately for the Govs, and now they're in 2nd and 10 situation here late in the third quarter.
Empty backfield, a quick throw, and that's intercepted again by the Bucks, and it might be a pick 6 for Cody Oswald. It will be pick 6 for Oswald as he'll take it about 35 yards in, and the Governors right now are stunned. It's a 3-score lead here for the Yankton Bucks as they are up by 20, 49-29 with 56 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunate. That was a ball that just was thrown a little bit behind because the Governors had an open receiver out in the flat and just thrown a little bit behind, and Oswald just went right. The ball just came right into Oswald's midsection, and then he just put the jets on and was able to outrun a couple of Governors all the way back 35 yards for the interception return. And now the Governors Governors are down 3 scores with 56 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
With 56 seconds to go, the Governors have to try and come back from a 3-score deficit. We'll have a flag come in here before the snap.
False start. Offense, 62. 5 yards.
Gage Coster gets called for the false start penalty. And this is if Yankton, they got 12 minutes to go, and the Governor offense can score in bunches, but if they win this game, Yankton's put themselves in prime position, maybe not necessarily to host the Governors in the playoffs, but will at least, if they're going to meet before the state championship, that would be the case. They would be the home team between these two teams if they can continue to play well like they have been, as they're close to going 3-0. It's going to be a botched snap, and now they're going to try and go for a 2-point conversion. The throw is going to be high, and it will be incomplete. And Yankton's looking for a flag. Josh Rouse went right through Rugby Riken, and it will be no flag on the tackle from Rouse, and it's 49-29 with 56 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Listen to Pierre Governor Football. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. It is a 49-29 lead here for the Yankton Bucks as we play with 56 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And the Governors will have a lot of work in front of them here with 12 minutes, 56 seconds left in regulation. They're going to find a way to outscore Yankton by 3 scores in that time frame to at least force overtime. If not, they can still win with 3 scores and 3 successful extra point conversions. You are listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station, just past 9 o'clock. You're on a line now, the Yankton territory, but I think he's cramping up on the Yankton sideline as he's out at the 42. And we'll have an injury timeout as the Yankton trainer is right there to start to work on Rasky, who I believe is cramping up. And he's getting the calf massage and try and work out that cramp right now. But he gets all the way down to the 41-yard line. A big throw there from Lincoln Keenels and a great catch from McGuire Rasky over the shoulder to make that grab.
Yeah, and 2 things on that play. Again, very nice ball. Very nice ball thrown by Keenholz. Rasky on just a deep out route, and Keenholz threw a nice ball, like you said, over the shoulder in stride, and so a big positive play for the Governors. The one thing you don't want to see is your workhorse McGuire Rasky down on the turf. It does look like it's just a cramp. He is up under his own power. He was actually on the Yankton sideline, and the Avera training staff was able to get over and start working on that cramp right away. Casey Michelson comes over from the Pierre sideline, but everybody, including Coach Steve Steele, are all jogging off, including McGuire Rasky. So that's a good sign. You got to expect that he's probably off for just one play, and we'll see him back on the field here with 35 seconds to go, probably to start the fourth quarter.
Keenels will step up in the pocket. He'll take off with it. He gets to the 36-yard line, a gain of 5 here for the Governors. And he'll take us to 24 seconds and counting. McGuire Rasky will come right back in. McCain Kruger came in for just that one play. And for Keenels, it picks up 5 yards here with the 14 seconds. Down seconds to go, and the Governors might wait for this clock to run out. And actually we'll have an injury as Cody Oswald, he is down right now, and he is slow to get up. Maybe he's cramping up as well. And, you the first couple games have been really warm, and guys have been preaching drink water, drink water, drink water. I think maybe now that it's a little bit cooler, you don't think about drinking as much water, and we're seeing a couple more cramps, more so than we saw in the first 2 games of the season, at least for the Pierre Governors in their games.
Yeah, and again, first-time Governors have played on turf this year. Haven't had played on natural grass both their first 2 games.
Final play of the third quarter. Keenels look to pass. He'll throw. The catch is made by McGuire Rasky, and he'll be wrapped up by 2 different Yankton Bucks as he's thrown down at around the 3-yard line. And it'll bring up the fourth quarter, a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 3rd and 2 to when we come back for the starts of the fourth quarter. Governors down by 20, 49-29 as we head to the fourth. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to Yankton, start the fourth quarter, 49-29. Yankton leads over Pierre.
Round double A, Huron in a final over Douglas, 36-0. Brookings in a final over 53-13. Stanley County trailing late in the fourth quarter to Woonsocket Western Springs, Sanborn Central 27-6. Harriet Selby 14, Sully Buttes 8. That early in the fourth quarter.
McGuire Rasky the handoff to start the fourth quarter, and he's got enough for a first down. He gets to the 30-yard line, needed 2, picked up 3. And it's 1st and 10 here for the Governors.
Yeah, big drive right here for the Governors. They've got to put points on the board. Down 3 scores at the start of the fourth quarter. You've got to score every time you have the ball now for Pierre. 2
receivers out to the left side. Keno's look to pass. He'll throw to the flat. The catch is made by Rasky. He's hit immediately, and the forward progress was stopped at the 26-yard line, so a pick of about 4. Now we'll call it a gain of 3 for McGuire Rasky, and it's 2nd and 7.
And Reagan Bolwig on a free release down the middle of the field was calling for that ball, but he had two Bucks right around him. He's drawn a lot of attention tonight from the Yankton Buck defense.
He's 2nd and 7 to the 27-yard line. Keno's look to pass. He'll throw over the middle looking for Bolwig. He's wrapped up, and it will fall incomplete. Look from up here, it looked like maybe the defender had a wrap around Bolwig, but it looked like it was maybe overthrown too much where it was uncatchable.
Yeah, that's what I saw the same thing. It looked like the defender had both hands on Bolwig as the ball went by, and the officials deemed that it was not met the criteria of pass interference, and so the Governors now in a 3rd and long situation.
3rd and 11 from the 3rd and 7 from the 27. As Keno's will roll to the right, he'll throw on the run. The catch is actually the ball is going to be off the hands, and it'll drop incomplete. And it's now 4th and 7 from the 27-yard line with 11:05 to play. That goes off the hands of Bolwig, and the Governors now here on 4th down and 7. They're going to have to go for it. You're down by 20 here early in the fourth quarter. Outside of kicking a field goal, but this is going to be about a 44-yard field goal, and that's probably out of the range of Kirsten Miller. So it's now 4th and 7 from the 27, 11:05 to play. They need to get to the 20, keep this drive alive. Play clock is down to 10. Governors still have all 3 timeouts. 2 receivers out to the right side. Keno's empty backfield here. Play clock down to 4, and he'll get the snap. He'll look to his left. He'll throw to the right side. He's going to look for the end zone for Zach Lettler. Gets free, and it's going to fall incomplete. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. And this is just about to be all Yankton in their ball game here. And they're about to go to 3-0 here on the season.
Yeah, and it's going to take the Governor defense is going to have to rise up, probably get at least 1, maybe 2 takeaways here with just under 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Either get a takeaway or 2 or get a couple of quick 3-and-outs. And again, then they're just going to have to score every time they have the ball from here on out.
1st and 10 from the 27. From under center, Fitzgerald will roll to his left. There's no passing play. He's going to run with it. It was a design run. He's out to the 4-yard line, out to the 42. Pickup of 17 or 15 for Fitzgerald, and it's 1st and 10 for Yankton.
And Fitzgerald, again, on the design run. And it's kind of the same thing we saw with the Governors over the last couple of years, not trying to do too much and not try to take too many chances, just just a direct snap to the quarterback and just let him find some crevices in the defense. And when Fitzgerald rolled to his left, he was able to avoid and break out of a couple of arm tackles and get into some space in the second level.
1st and 10 from the 42. That play clock is now under 7, and Fitzgerald going under center. They've gone conservative here as Yankton, as the handoff will be to the fullback, as in the backfield and wrapped up and thrown down. A flag's going to come in late, and it's going to be a flag on the Governors, as it was Gavin Swanson that was thrown to the ground. And it'll be a first down for Yankton. It'll probably be a personal foul call. It is a personal foul on Yankton, so a 15-yard penalty, which will put Yankton with another first down, and it'll be in Governor territory.
Yeah, and a play that was stopped dead.
Defense, number 75, slammed him to the ground. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Preston Taylor. And it's now 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. With 10-10 to go. And again, Fitzgerald, they're going to take their time. They have to be in any hurry. They're up by 20 points. They're up by 3 scores. And really, not even you want to try and put it to the Governors. It's just that the offense is so good, as Fitzgerald, his handoff and a big loss there by Thomas Wiener had the carry, and he's all the way back to the 48-yard line, loss of 4 on that play.
And Preston Taylor coming right through from his nose tackle position really almost had Fitzgerald wrapped up even before he was able to get that ball into Thomas Wiener's hands. And so right now, Yankton almost going back to, at least in those first couple of plays on that possession, going back to that old wing T formation that Yankton ran a lot of when they were a dynasty back in the 80s and 90s during the first rounds of the early years of the playoffs here in South Dakota.
The pass is incomplete. It was a penalty flag that dropped down. It'll probably be third. I would think that Steele, an eligible receiver downfield. That was a quick pass to have an ineligible receiver, but it will should bring up third down. I would think that Steele will probably decline it and make it 3rd and 14. As they're still talking about what they're going to.
Ineligible downfield. Number 12 was covered up and went downfield. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Be 3rd down. As the referee called 4th down, but it is 3rd down. And although the Governors would take it 4th down right there, but it will be 3rd down.
Correction. 3rd down.
There we go. The correction is made. So 3rd and 14 with 9:18 left to go, and one of the few times that after a mistake, the referees get a round of applause from the Yankton fans. Or not just the Yankton fans, but in general fans. 3rd and 14 from the 48s. 9:18 to play here in the 4th quarter. Shotgun formation, receiver on each side. Fitzgerald will take the snap. Handoff for Wiener. Wiener will get up to the 44-yard line. Back to that original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 4th and 10. And Yankton, they might let this play clock run all the way down and then call timeout and then put the ball away.
Yeah, and just total opposite of what we saw out of the Yankton offense especially in the first quarter. Now they're running the play clock down into the single digits before they snap the ball. Total opposite of what they did in the first quarter, where they were running to the line, snapping the ball almost as quickly as they could.
7 seconds left on the play clock. Beware of a fake of any kind here. And it will be a low snap. Paulson will get a foot on it, and it'll go past the 20. It's going to roll to the 5-yard line, and before the rolls out, it's going to go all the way down inside the 2. So this is going to be a 98-yard drive here for the Governors with 8:24 left, and they've got to do it quickly because they've got to score 3 times here in this 4th quarter to try and come back.
Yeah, and we have seen weapon that Trevor Paulson, the 6 foot, 170-pound sophomore kicker, is for Yankton tonight. He's got a big leg. He's put the Governors back deep in their own end of the field time and time again. And right now, when the Governors need it the least, they're backed up all the way inside their 5. Got to go 98 yards to try to get a score.
Lincoln Keenels will throw, looking downfield for Lettler, just too far. Would have hit him in stride. He could have had a 98-yard catch and run. but it goes too far and it's incomplete on the 28th pass attempt. And it's Keenels is now 13 for 28 on the game with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, 292 yards through the air for Lincoln Keenels.
Yeah, and actually Lettler covered up by a couple of bucks over on that side. Had Oswald on the inside, had Super Gecky on the outside, and was well covered, but almost completed that ball.
Throw in the middle, catch is made by Reagan Bolwig as the ball will come free, and they're going to say that he was down. They're going to look for an incomplete pass, but Bolwig had probably 3 or 4 steps before he went to the ground, and it'll be enough for a first down as they get it from the 2 to the 17-yard line. Again, a 15 for Bolwig.
Yeah, Coach Muth pleading his case with the near side official, but like you said, Bolwig had possession, took about 3 steps before he went to the ground, before the ball popped out. So good call by the officials on that one.
As the Keenels will go back to pass, he's going to throw downfield, looking for Matt Hanson on the run, and that one goes too far again. It'll fall incomplete. As Keenels now 14 for 30 on the day, and we'll see that those numbers keep going up because the Governors have to throw the ball here down by 20 with 7:57 to go. They're not giving up just yet, and then rolling over to Yankton, who looks like they're about to go to 3-0 on the season. The Governors will lose for the first time since 2018. 2 receivers out to the left side. Empty backfield here for Lincoln Keenels. Low snap. Keenels will look to his left. He'll throw, looking to lob it over for McGuire. Rasky is intercepted for the 3rd time, and inside the 25-yard line. It'll be down by Aiden Feaster, who's got another interception for the Yankton Bucks. And they have it inside Governor territory, and this ball game is just about over. 7:48 to play.
Yeah, and just a ball that Keenhol's looking for Rasky on a deep flag route to the sideline. Just underthrew him just a little bit, and Feaser was able to step in front of that ball, pick the ball off, and got about a 10-yard return out of it. And now the Yankton Buck offense comes back out onto the field, 7:48 to go in the 4th quarter. They're going to run as much time off the clock on this possession as possible. You will likely not see another pass out of Yankton the rest of the night.
And any score puts them up by 4 scores in this game. A handoff right up the middle. I believe that's Solar that got the handoff. Actually, it's Thomas Wiener. They get the handoff to the 20-yard line. Gain of 3 for Wiener.
Yeah, just that interior handoff, and Solar has been bottled up between the tackles most of the night. He got about 3. He's been averaging about 2 to 3 yards a carry as he's gone in between the tackles, except for that one run where he busted up the middle and got the long 62-yard touchdown.
2nd and 7 from the 20-yard line. 7:15 to play. Play clock will get under 10 now, and Fitzgerald will go under center with an I formation. Receiver on each side, breaking through that pile right away, but handoff to Wiener as they'll get out to the 18-yard line. A gain of 2, and it's now 3rd and 5 here for the Bucks.
Yeah, Colin Brueggemann shooting out of his middle linebacker position, almost broke up that handoff, and if he's about 1 step quicker and about 1 step to his right, he maybe intercepts that handoff and goes the other way, but it disrupted the play just a little bit. The Bucks are only able to get a couple of yards out of that running play, and it put the Bucks in 3rd and medium.
3rd and 5 from the 18-yard line. Play clock down to 5. A handoff for Wiener to the left side, looking for a quick counter. And it will be 4th down from around the 11-yard line. And I don't know why it took so long for that play to get stopped, because Wiener was going nowhere. That line was – the pile was stopped, but they whistled it dead around the 16-yard line. A gain of 2, and it's 4th and 3. And it will be coming on for the field goal is Trevor Paulson.
Yeah, and Wiener just ran into the middle of that offensive line. The Governors had it pretty well stacked up. It looked like a rugby scrum out there, and just it wasn't going anywhere. And you had about 12 bodies pushing on each other, and finally, after about 5 seconds, the officials called the play dead.
Play clock down to 3. Paulson on for the field goal. That is up, and that one should go straight through the uprights, and it is good for that was a 33-yard field goal for Trevor Paulson, and it is a 52-29 lead for Yankton with 5:33 to play here in the 4th quarter. You're listening to Pure Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. A 33-yard field goal is good for the Yankton Bucks, and they lead 52-29 with 5:33 left to go here in this fourth quarter. John Winkler alongside Greg Dean, and the 18-game winning streak is 5.5 minutes away from ending. And hey, give credit to the Yankton Bucks. They came out here and they're looking like the best team in Class 11 AA here tonight.
Yeah, and they have. I mean, they've just outplayed the Governors. They've outplayed the Governors on both sides of the football so far tonight.
Josh Rouse will field around the 15-yard line. He's out to the 30 and tackled just shy of the 35-yard line, and is a 23-point lead here for the Pierre Governors. So technically it still is a 3-possession game because they can score with a couple of 2-point conversions in here. They can get up to 23 points in 3 possessions, but the Governors got a lot of work in 5:27 to try. I mean, they have done it, but the Yankton Bucks will be trying to take as much time off the clock. If they get the ball back at any point again, they'll have to take a couple of onside kicks for the Governors to come back in this one. Play action here for Lincoln Keenels. He'll throw to McGuire Rasky. He'll slip through a tackler in the backfield. He's still on his feet. He'll be thrown around and spun around, and it'll end up being a loss of 1 for Rasky back to the 32.
And we've got an injured Yankton Buck on the field. It was number 16, but he is back up and on his feet. That's Brody Peterson, who made the tackle and back up and on his feet, and he is staying in the game.
So now 15 for 32 on the day for Lincoln Keenels. As 2nd and 11 here for the Governors. Keenels flushed out of the pocket. He'll throw on the run, looking downfield for Lettler. The catch is going to be made by Zach Lettler. The flag comes down, and we'll see what it is. I don't know if you could call pass interference on really either of those two guys.
There was some hand fighting going on. This one could go either way. I'm not sure which way the official is going to call this.
Looks like right now, as everybody keeps moving forward, that's going to be a pass interference on the defense, and they'll obviously decline that penalty. It's going to be a completion for Zach Lettler all the way down to about the 35-yard line, and that's where everybody is moving. So wait on the call here.
Pass interference. Defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is completion. First up.
So a good play there for Zach Lettler.
And again, the difference between high school and college and pro is that in high school, pass interference is just a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul.
There's a gain of 33 as a throw over looking for Bullwig in triple coverage. It'll fall incomplete.
And even though Keenholz has some pretty good numbers tonight, his completion percentage is hanging around 50%, and he's going to be, what'd you say, he's right around 300 yards passing?
Yeah, 239 right now.
239. He's at a nice night yardage-wise, but the Yankton Buck pass defense has made the plays when they've had to make the plays.
2nd and 10 from the 35. Keenholz will look to pass. He'll step up in the pocket. He'll throw on the slant route. It'll fall incomplete, looking for Lettler again, and it's now 3rd and 10. And Keenholz right now 16 for 35, 2 touchdowns, 239 yards, but those 3 interceptions have doomed the Governors. And another fumble by McGuire Rasky, 4 turnovers in all, without counting the turnover on downs for the Pierre Governors. So not the offensive night that we're used to seeing for Pierre. 4:25 to go here in the 4th, 3rd and 10. Governors trail by 23. Keenholz will step up in the pocket. He'll throw. Catch is going to be made over on the sideline, and it's going to be enough for a first down as McGuire Rasky will make that catch as he was from the 35 all the way down to, I believe that is the 24-yard line, again of 11 for Rasky.
Yeah, and a deep out route for Rasky, and he was able to fight for an extra yard or two, and was tackled inbounds. So even though the clock stops while they reset the change, it starts right away when the ball is marked.
Throwing into the end zone, looking up, the catch is not made, and another flag will come in, and it'll fall incomplete, but a pass interference will be called, so it'll be a 15-yard penalty, and the Governors will get another first down, or at least it'll be more of a gain of 12. They'll probably go half the distance to the goal. And so the Governors will have 1st and 10 again after the pass interference
Aiden Fieser out on the coverage for the Bucks, locked up one-on-one with Zach Lettler out in the far corner of the end zone, and it was obvious pass interference. Fieser did not turn around. He did not get his head around, and just gave Lettler no opportunity to come back and make a catch on the ball, and drawing the ire of the Yankton faithful. But that was a good call. It was the right call.
After this, it's the goal, so it's 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. 4:02 to play here in the fourth quarter. The Governors need to score here quickly, and they're going to have to look and hope that they can get an onside kick recovered. Keenholz will look to pass. He's going to throw to the end zone for Bolwig up in the air, and that's going to be broken up by Oswald as he got a hand on it. And it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Bolwig out of the tight end position came up the field and then broke to the far sidelines. Lettler coming out of the split end position on the far side kind of came underneath him, tried to do a little bit of a rub over there, and give Oswald a lot of credit. The Yankton Buck safety, he went stride for stride with Bolwig, didn't get caught up in that crossing pattern, and the pass fell incomplete.
2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line. Now they're going to throw again, and Lettler had fallen over, and he is hobbling a little bit. It's now 3rd and 10. And so now here's a big 3rd down here for the Governors. They got to get to at least the 2-yard line, and down by 23. You just can't kick a field goal here and try and get an onside kick. You got to score a touchdown.
Yeah, the clock is not the friend of the Pierre Governor offense right now.
3rd and 10 from the 12, 3:50 to play here in the fourth quarter. Empty backfield here for Keenholz. He'll throw on a slant route, and it's going to be undercut, and it's intercepted again. 4th interception of the game from the Yankton Bucks, and Oswald will take it out to about the 17-yard line where he's wrapped up by Keenholz. And it's going to be a game to forget for the sophomore quarterback. And he's going to have to quickly forget about this game because T. Area, who was shutting out the West Central Trojans by over points, is going to be on the slate next week on the road.
Yeah, and we've got a final on that game. T. Area defeated West Central tonight 41-0 at West Central. So T went on the road, pitched the shutout against a team that gave the Governors all they could handle last week. So next week will be a monumental task for the Governors as they have to go to T to play the Titans.
1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. 5 turnovers in the game here for the Governors. And you look on the other end, just 1 turnover for Yankton. And a pre-snap penalty will be called. It'll be false start on the Bucks. And one of the big things here, and again, you give Yankton all the credit. They get the home field advantage. With COVID and everything, not all the Pierre faithful could get here tonight or was able to travel. So, again, the home field advantage is already here for the Yankton Bucks, and then Pierre's a lot sparser than what they usually are. That again plays into a little bit of the factor, but again, for Yankton, all the credit goes to them in this game. They had the game plan to work, as I believe that's Thomas Wiener that will get the handoff as they'll get back to about the 19-yard line, a gain of 7 on the 1st and 15 play.
Yeah, and right now the Governors still have 3 timeouts. They are not making any attempt to try to stop the clock. They may be just accepting the fate that with 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, this one may be out of reach.
And the Governors' 18-game winning streak will come to an end as we'll have a official timeout. I believe not sure. I guess it's the Pierre Governors that are going to take a timeout. So Pierre, the Governors will take a timeout with 3:04 to play. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 19-yard line when we return. 52-29. Yankton on top by 23. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. It is a 52-29 lead for the for the Yankton Bucks over the Pierre Governors. John Wickler alongside Greg Dean. And The Governors, for the first time since week 8 of 2018, all the way back around would be about October 12th of 2018. So nearly 2 years, 1 year and 11 months is the last time that the Governors have lost. And they are 3 minutes and 4 seconds away from that win streak ending to the hands of the Yankton Bucks here in Yankton. As out to the 29-yard line. That's enough for a first down for Thomas Weiner. And it'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 29. And the Governors had taken that first time out. And
I think they're just short, looks like.
Looked like they got to the 29, but they're going to call it the 28. So we'll call it a gain of 8. Or a gain of 9 for Weiner. So it's 3rd down and 1. And we'll have a whistle.
Quite sure one of the officials is over talking to Coach Muth from Yankton. I don't know if he's wanting a measurement or what this discussion is about. Now the officials are huddling up, and we'll see what the.
That's a first down.
Yep.
So they were there for a first down. So it was a gain of 9 because it was 2nd down and 9. So they got to the 28. So it's 1st and 10 here for the Bucks, and that might have been the last shot for the Governors. As we'll have the clock continue to roll. 2:40 to play here in the 4th quarter. Fitzgerald will take his time. No hurry for the Yankton Bucks. They lead by 23, 52-29. It was tied at 29 at the break, and Yankton not allowing the Governors to score at all here in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Handoff going up the middle as it'll be out to the 34-yard line. Maybe the 33 as Weiner again with the handoff, and it'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and again, just a real tip of the hat to this Yankton Buck football team and Coach Muth and his coaching staff. They put together a very good game plan, and other than the last 6 minutes of the 2nd quarter, they have really bottled up the Pierre Governors tonight and just controlled both sides of the ball. I mean, something we haven't seen a Pierre team fall victim to, like you said, in almost 2 years.
Weiner will be held back in the backfield for a loss, back to the 31, a loss of 3, but we're 90 seconds away from this ball game coming to an end. And the Governors will be 2-1, and it's not going to get any easier next week. T-Area might be one of the best teams between Class 11A and AA. Yankton showing that they're the best team in AA here, and so it's going to be a tough 2-game stretch here for the Governors because they have to quickly turn things around.
Yeah, and then after that, the Governors have a couple of big games coming down the pike after that. They do get Mitchell at home, but then they do have to go to Brookings on the second Friday in October. So the schedule doesn't get a whole lot easier for the Governors. They do come home after going to T-Area next week. They get Spearfish at home for homecoming on September 25th. Then they get Huron at home following that, the first weekend or the first Friday in October. But then they have to go to Brookings. Following that, they get Mitchell at home and Douglas at home.
It is the going to be 4th down and 3. They have to run one more play, and it will be probably a punt coming up from Yankton, although they could probably run around with the final play and just take a knee and let the clock run out, as there's 4 seconds between the game clock and the play clock. And they'll let that run all the way down to about 1 second before they take the timeout. And the Governors are going to fall here tonight, 52-29. Yankton's going to go 3-0. Pierre's going to fall to 2-1. 5 seconds are left on the clock after Yankton took a timeout. I'm sure there won't be much of a full timeout here taken between these two teams, and they'll have one more play to run, and Yankton will be 3-0 as they will face, or as Pierre will face T-Area next week back on the road, and they're also going to be 3-0. So this Governor team, they're in a couple of dogfights here in these next 2 weeks. They're going to try and stay away from being 500, not let alone 3-1 or 4-0. Right now, going into week 4, they're going to be fighting to stay at or above 500.
Yeah, and again, a situation that Coach Steele and just about all the rest of the young men and the rest of the coaching staff on the Pierre Governor sideline just have not found themselves in. I mean, this is now they have to face a little bit of adversity going forward in next week, and again, you'll see what kind of we'll see what kind of scheme that the Governors can come up with. Steve Steele is a very good and masterful tactician when it comes to designing game plans. But again, he's going to have to probably pick some sad kids up off the floor mentally in that locker room. That's going to be a very quiet locker room on a very long bus ride home.
And they will take a knee, and the Governors will allow them to take one more knee. And the Yankton Bucks have ended the 18-game winning streak for the Pierre Governors. First time since October of 2018, the Governors fall as Yankton wins 52-29 over the Pierre Governors. We'll step aside for 3 minutes, come back with a post-game show. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Excuse me, as we welcome you back here to Yankton. It is the final score. The Yankton Bucks win 52-29 over the Pierre Governors as the 18-game winning streak comes to an end. As the Governors, they fall by 23 here tonight. So John Wiggler alongside Greg Dean. And Greg, this game had everything, especially in the first half. It had more than everything in the first half, but it ended up being a game where it was all Yankton in the second.
Yeah, and we have often lauded Coach Steve Steele being able to make adjustments at halftime, and tonight the Govs just weren't able to make that magic work. Tonight it was the Yankton Bucks who made the adjustments that they needed to make, and they just, other than, like we said, other than that last 6 minutes of the second quarter, where the Gov offense was really running on all cylinders, Yankton did a lot of good things tonight. Really kind of had the Govs bottled up for most of the night, and just kind of took the Govs out of rhythm and just took them out of their game plan a little bit. First time in almost in more than a year that the Governors had to play from behind. And again, this is, when you have to face that kind of adversity, that becomes a little bit of a challenge. And so for the Governors, unfortunately, they go down to defeat tonight. We'll see how they rebound and come back next week against a very, very good T area team.
Yeah, they beat West Central 41-0 here tonight to go to 3-0, and the Governors won last week 24-14 at home against West Central. So we'll go to T next week, and the Governors are looking to go to 3-1. They're going to try and avoid going back to 500, which, you date back all the way to the beginning of 2018 where they were 0-1. Other than that, it's been 1-1 when they got to 500, but it's been 0-0 the only time they've been at 500 the last couple of years, because they've started out with a win and haven't looked back in the last several years. So this is tough for a lot of these kids, like Reagan Bolwick, who went for 5 catches, 86 yards. This is the first time that he's lost as a Pierre Governor. Zach Lettler, who had 222 yards on 6 catches for the game. That's unofficial, but that's a lot of catches for Zach Lettler, or a lot of yards on those 6 catches for Zach Lettler. But he hasn't really been a part of a Pierre Governor loss, and really, when you think about it, it's been a long time for any of these guys that are seniors that have played in a loss for the Pierre Governors, and even those back that are freshmen, sophomore, the juniors that don't really remember watching this varsity team lose in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and again, just something that virtually every other team in South Dakota experiences at some point during the year. For the last 18 games, the Governors have not tasted defeat, and so this is something we'll just have to see how they rebound next week. And again, you and I were talking about it toward the end of the game during commercials. Something that you and I haven't really had to experience. I mean, when you came to the capital city, just not quite 2 years ago, you saw the very first game in that winning streak and have seen the Governors do nothing but win. So this is a new experience, certainly for you. And so we'll, a lot of new things going on tonight, both in the press box and in the field.
For those that are listening, for you that's listening at home, you now get to hear what I sound like in a loss for a football game. And I hadn't heard that since I moved out here. But the Governors, they fall 52-29. Otherwise, McGuire Rasky had 97 yards on 21 carries. Lincoln Keno's finished with -4 yards on 7 carries in total. He, through the air, went 17 for 39 for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. The Governors had 5 turnovers in that game. And if there's one thing to point to, it's the 5 turnovers that gave the defense a real tough time on short fields to try and get stops.
Yeah, and again, the turnovers were probably the biggest factor tonight. And then the Bucks pulling a couple of trick plays out of their book. I mean, that fake punt that set them up for their first touchdown of the night. That was a gutsy call. But they just did some nice things. They probably threw the ball better than I was expecting them to throw the ball coming into this game, just kind of looking at their numbers. But they had one big in both of their games, and so they really had not had to throw the ball very much, and so you really didn't quite know what kind of Yankton Buck team you were going to see tonight. But boy, I tell you what, I as we walk out of here tonight, John, I'm impressed. This is a very good Yankton football team.
And Coach Steele last year, they won 63-0 over Yankton, but Steele said, hey, that was a game we went into that we were pretty nervous about because Yankton was a pretty good football team. It just worked out so well for the Governors to start out with 3 plays and 3 scores that Yankton had to abandon everything that they wanted to do all game long and had to basically air it out as quick as possible, and it didn't work out for them. Here, Yankton was able to stay in it. Pierre scored in the first possession, but then it was Yankton that was able to respond and actually had a missed field goal. But the Governors had a 3-and-out, and Yankton was able to come back, score. The Governors, if they go up 14-0, we're looking at a completely different game than what ended up being had here tonight. But you got to give credit to Yankton. Defensively, they were able to get stops. Offensively, they did not look scared of this defense, which there hasn't been many teams in the last couple of years. Brookings is the only team outside of Huron in the state championship. Brookings in the state championship last year is really the only team that came out and didn't look scared of the Governor defense. And this is the first team to really put anything on the defense.
Yeah, and what Yankton did was they were able to establish enough of a running game that they were able to hold the Pierre Governor linebackers in place. I mean, if the Governor defensive line, and we talked about in the pregame that a lot of this game was going to kind of be determined on how the Governor front 7 played, and what we didn't talk about was the Yankton offensive line going to be able to neutralize that Governor front 7? And for the most part, they did. And so hats off to them. But Yankton was able to establish enough of a running game, and Corbin Solar, even though his numbers didn't look real good, and if you take away that 62-yard touchdown run, he by the end of the game, he's got good numbers, but you take that 62-yard run off the board. The Governors did a pretty good job of bottling him up most of the night. I mean, he came in as kind of the water carrier for this team, and the Governors did a pretty good job of bottling him up. But what Yankton did is they would just pound the middle of the line with Solar, and then that would open up Fitzgerald to get to the edge or buy enough time when they went back to pass and a play action to find some holes in the Governor secondary.
Yeah, he ended up with 103 yards on 20 carries. So he averaged 5 yards a carry, but you take that 162-yard run away, he gets 41 yards on 19 carries. So that's completely different look, barely averaging over 2 yards a carry outside that one that he busted out for 62 yards and scored. Fitzgerald had 72 yards on the ground. It was Wiener that he came in the fourth quarter and had 29 yards on the ground. It was for Swanson, 49 yards. He had that one, or 44 yards, that one fake punt for 44 yards. But through the air, it was 8 for 13, 139 yards, and an interception for Fitzgerald. And then it was 4 for 6 for 124 yards to Rugby Riken. He threw that one touchdown pass to Corbin Solar, who had 96 yards on 3 catches, 123 yards on 4 catches for Zarbach, for Cameron Zarbach of the Yankton Bucks. And again, they win 52-29 here this evening, as they are now 3-0, and the Governors are 2-1 here on the season. Waiting for Steve Steele to come through. Zach Lettler absolutely has to be our player of the game. When you have 222 yards of offense on 6 catches, that's a lot of offense for him to grab those 6 balls. But he's got to be our player of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't have the Pierre Governor Booster Club book with us, but if memory serves, I think that 222 yards, and we'll get the official number later in the week from the coaching staff. I think that 222 yards is probably a single game receiving yardage record in the Governor record book. So even if it isn't, and I like I said, I think it is. But congratulations to Zach Lettler on a really good night offensively. Certainly one of the bright spots for the Governors tonight.
And we will be joined here by Zach Lettler, who again is our player of the game. And Zach, first off, it's a tough loss, but I don't know if you know how many yards you had on those 6 catches you had, but we got you for 222 yards on 6 catches. I mean, you were finding the ball. The ball was finding you. You were finding the ball. Those were some pretty impressive catches you made tonight.
Yep. We were just running a lot of deep routes, and Lincoln made some nice throws, and we were able to connect a couple times for a couple deep balls.
Yeah, and we were just talking about, I don't know if you heard us as you walked in, but I think that's a single game yardage receiving record. So if that's the case, which I think it is, get your name etched in the Pierre Governor record books. And again, something. I know the score is not what you wanted, but also maybe just a little bit of a belated birthday present for you because your birthday was yesterday.
Yes,
so.
it was.
So congratulations. Talk about the long touchdown pass that where Lincoln hit you in stride for that 78-yard pass. It looked like it was just a go route, and you were able to blow by Fitzgerald out here on the coverage on the near side. Talk a little bit about that play.
Yeah, I had a deep route. McGuire had a short route, and the corner on me just went in, and I happened to be wide open. Lincoln hit me in stride and ran down the field and was tired at the end.
What are you thinking when you see nothing but green and red in front of you? I mean, not jerseys, but just green and red ground in front of you.
It's a good feeling. Just run as fast as you can until you get there.
You guys were down by 2 scores late in the first half. You're able to score twice in a matter of a minute, barely over a minute. What was the message on the sideline in that first half to not let this game get away from you guys and you're able to tie it up by halftime?
Well, we kind of dug ourselves in the hole the first quarter, and we just said we got to get going. We got to bring some intensity. We got to get back up there, and that's what we did.
Did the Yankton defense show you anything tonight that you weren't expecting?
We watched quite a bit of film this week, and they did what we were expecting. They brought a little bit of new stuff, but not too much.
And again, as we're here in the post-game show, joined by Zach Littler, who had 6 catches for 222 yards unofficially, but we unofficially in terms of my yardage for 222 yards, but as we have it right now would be a school record. Zach, as the game went on, again, the score isn't what you want it to be. You guys are now 2-1, but this is a good chance now going forward for this team to kind of rally around this game moving into week 4.
Yep, it's kind of a kick in the butt, and we maybe kind of needed that to get us going. It's going to be a good learning experience for us, and we're going to hope we can use it for good.
Yeah, and so going into next week, it doesn't get any easier next week. T area is a very good football team. They put a whooping on West Central tonight. They beat them 41-0, and so you're gonna have your work cut out for you next week. Maybe talk a little bit about what you think it's going to take. I mean, sometimes one of the old sayings is you learn more from losing than you ever do from winning. So as you walk out of here tonight, what do you think is probably the one thing as a team that you probably take away from this game tonight?
It's going to be practice next week. We just got to work hard next week, and it can't just be a couple of good days. We've got to have a whole good week of practice, get ready to go for T next week.
Zach Littler, again, we'll say congratulations on the unofficial school record here on the 6 catches for 222 yards, and we'll see you next week against T.
Yep, thank you.
Zach Littler, our player of the game here this evening, as the Governors, they fall 52-29. We'll be joined by Coach Steele here in a matter of moments as we are wrapping up here in the post-game show here at Yankton as we are closing on the 10 o'clock hour. So do want to make a mention quickly that you are listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. And that's kind of the agony of defeat right now. We haven't been able to talk to a player for the good that we haven't talked to a player after a loss because they haven't had a loss. But here in this game, and Zach will one day look back at this, and I know his family's probably pretty happy for him, pretty excited for him, but one day we'll look back and be, think this is pretty cool. I was able to get a school record in receiving yards in a game. You'll kind of forget what the score is. One day you might say, well, that was the 103-0 win that I got those 222 yards, or whatever it might be. But right now, it stings for a loss for the Governors.
Yeah, and just was able to verify that that this record for Zach Littler, if your numbers are relatively accurate,
Right.
the current single game individual receiving yardage record for the Governors was set in 2013 by Garrett Pocup with 187 yards. So I got to believe that with 222 unofficial. By the time we get the official numbers in the next couple of days, that Zach Lettler probably etches his name in the Governor record book tonight. The one thing, I mean, that's probably a silver lining on this game, but you do get to take away at least a little bit of a positive tonight because of that.
And we are joined here by Coach Steve Steele. Again, the Yankton Bucks win 52-29 here tonight in Yankton. Coach, what's the takeaway from this game? First loss in 18 games, all the way back to Week 8 of 2018. What's the takeaway from this?
I mean, Yankton's a good football team, and I think we are too. We learned a lot about ourselves tonight, and it's a football game, man. We're going to lose one. We can't win forever. If that's your expectation, then it's pretty unrealistic. Just same type of thing with coronavirus. You can't believe no one's ever going to get it, when it exists. So, it is what it is. They were by far the better team tonight. We just made too many mistakes. I thought we were right there. I was very proud of our guys. Coming back, going up and then going way down and then coming right back up and being really close to having a lead at halftime. And then, they came out and played a really good second half. And, we were kind of one mistake away on every drive, I think, in the second half there from putting points up.
So now going forward, you're having to lead a team that is having to deal with some adversity for the first time in a long time. I mean, probably in close to 2 years since since you last kind of faced this kind of situation. I mean, so what's the message to the team when you start getting them back together on Monday?
I think the big challenge for us was just, we had to find out, we had to drive our bus. We've got a lot of guys that have been used to riding, they've gotten to ride along for 3 outstanding seasons, and it's to the point now we've got to drive it. We've got to find some people who want to lead the way and really make this team what it is. And that was our big message in there. Is this, this is the time of the season that we got to find out who we are. And I said we didn't quit. I was very proud of our guys' effort tonight. And like I said, we've just got to continue to keep working, finding what we can do, because there's a lot of bright spots too. I mean, we found out we can throw the ball really well. We can run the ball really well tonight. I think we showed that on offense and defensively. I mean, we know we've been very good against the run, but we also found some things to work on. We still think we made some good plays in the pass defense. But realistically on defense against that team, you're not going to shut them out. Just like most teams, I don't think most teams would come in and think they're going to shut us out. So, we've just got to kind of find some ways to limit the damage a little bit more, and on offense to not let ourselves get limited in the second half like we did. So, again, a lot of credit to those guys. They're a really good football team. They had a great game plan tonight, and it showed.
One of your very bright spots is a school record that Zach Lettler, I unofficially had him for 6 catches for 222 yards in this game.
That's not bad.
Yeah, he hit a pretty good night in a 79-yard touchdown catch for the second score for you guys. He had a heck of a game. Making some pretty tough catches too. They weren't just easy, wide open catches to make. They were in traffic, and he made some really good catches.
He did, and it's a lot of fun to see Zach get to go out and play. And obviously he'd battled some injuries last year. He's a kid he's worked so hard to get back to where he is right now that it's just fun to see all of his work and his time and his dedication pay off, especially in an effort like that. Because he's one of those guys where you feel like he could do that any game. But to some degree, last year we had so many weapons and he was banged up, and it's really fun to see him have a good moment tonight.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about the defense. I mean, it's been a long time since you've given up 50 points. I mean, I think you talk about last year, you probably got deep into the season before you gave up your 52nd point. It looked from up here like you did a pretty good job of bottling up the Yankton running game between the tackles, but they were able to get to the edge, and when they were able to get to the edge enough, they were able to hold your linebackers and hold your blitzing game, and just bought enough time that they were able to run some routes and get some guys open. Was that kind of the game plan that you saw out of Yankton tonight?
Yeah, and number 2 is a really good scrambler. He's really dangerous with his feet. And I think that was one of the things that really hurt us. I think we had things bottled up, and when we did cover well, he was able to kind of get outside the pocket and get loose. And early in the game, I think our guys took a couple poor angles to him where we had some free runners at him, but they undershot their angle and he got outside. And then when we did get in there and pressure on him, he was able to move around just enough to find an open receiver. So it was one of those things where you're kind of darned if you do and darned if you don't with that kid back there. He had a heck of a game, but again, we also put our defense in bad spots. We can't snap the ball over our punter's head inside our own 20, and then we had a pick six and, a few turnovers that way too. So just a sloppy game, from our special teams in general. And then, us at offense, we just turned it over too many times, so if it turns into a shootout, we've got to have an offense that's capable of continuing to shoot out too.
So you guys are now 2-1, and you'll face T next week. They are 3-0. They won 41-0 over West Central. Obviously, you get real into the game planning against them probably tomorrow, and then have Sunday off and back to it on Monday. But your first thought against this T team next Friday?
Well, I said they're going to be a really good team too. They're obviously number one for a reason in 11A. That score, it's a pretty good score. If they're beating West Central by that much, then they're obviously a pretty good football team too. So, we'll have to dig in and see what they can do. And, I said, we'll get back to work tomorrow and put a plan together.
Any injuries coming out of tonight of note?
No, I think we're pretty healthy. So we just gotta keep plugging away.
Okay.
Coach Steele, appreciate the time. We'll see you next Friday over in T.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Head coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governor football team. Again, they lose 52-29. They're now 2-1 on the season. The 18-game winning streak will come to an end. And, Greg, as we wrap things up here, Coach Steele, I have talked to him after losses before. It's been through the hockey of the YE Capitals. But when you have only 9 games in your regular season compared to 20 games in your regular season, the losses are amplified a little bit more in football. But here for Coach Steele, he's not, at least to us, he's not too worried about it right now. And not saying that he's carefree about a loss, but he's saying, hey, we got to, as you said, it is what it is. We got to work on ourselves to get better for next week.
Yeah, and I think he's taking the right approach. It's one game in the season, and again, you just learn from it. And so Yankton was able to potentially expose some weaknesses in the Governor defense tonight. Yankton did a lot of good things, and knowing this Governor football coaching staff, they will learn some lessons from this, and they will teach those lessons. And so going forward, you just hope that the Governor football team responds, and next Friday is another opportunity to have some success.
The Governors will face T area next Friday over in T, as we'll have that one for you. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Right here on today's KCCR, today's KCCR.com, and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, we'll have the home opener and senior night of volleyball for you. Pierre Governors will take on the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles in a battle of unbeatens as well tomorrow night at Riggs High School. So that will wrap things up for us here tonight. The Governors will fall for the first time since October 12th of 2018, almost a year and 11 months to the date that the Governors last lost a football game, but they are now 2-1 on the season. For Greg Dean to my left, I'm John Winkler. Back on the air next Friday against T on the road, as it will be kickoff at 7 o'clock right here on today's KCCR, today's KCCR.com, as it is a 52-29 win for Yankton, and the Governors are now 2-1 as we say good night from Yankton.